Big on that.
Nishiwa and Kambamwa. Doshiwa Desuke, Mark Goldovsky, Halpern. Doshiwa Desuke, Mike,
Big
the
on
Pun
that.
Master Rifkin. Doshiwa Desuke, Dan, Vice President Danny Boy, Reginald, and Bill. No, Doshiwa Desuke, Bill Corpus Crispy Murphy.
You should have
The
learned
guys,
how to say our names in Japanese if you were going to do this.
please. Most of them are said in English anyway.
Don't know
However,
arigato.
these guys have no idea why I introduced it in the Japanese, but next year when we got the WBC, Danny Boy Reginald will be bringing it in his famous land from Puerto Rico, the famous heartfelt language. Bill has been given India. Bill will be doing it in Punjabi. Mike has Israel. Mike will be doing it in Hebrew, and that means if Ike Davis does bring out the Torah, Mike will be doing the before and after parts of the Torah portion. Patch will be having the good old Cuba. So you have a little bit of similarity to Dan. And for Ross, if we decide to allow him to participate, Ross will have something very, very simple in Australia, but he will have to use the slang terms. Well, welcome to another great day here for the Sports Insanity Network, a live cast of the final game of the Met-Yankee game, in which the Mets are up 2-0 in this series after a comeback on Friday and an absolute ass-kicking yesterday. But as we all know from the first series, the Yankees did take 2 or 3 because their walls are in more and it created for more home runs. But that being said, we're going to kick it over to Mike, the Pun Master Rifkin, to get us into the day as I take a bite of this great New York hot dog.
I thought it was Chicago style.
It is, but it's from New York.
That's fair. That's fair. All right. Yeah, as Mark mentioned, last game of the Subway Series. Unless these two teams play in the World Series, which I'm not sure my blood pressure could handle. And let's
Mine
be
either.
the Yankees don't want to make the World Series because that means Aaron Boone gets a lifetime extension.
Cam, what do you think about that?
No lifetime extensions.
I agree.
What's wrong with Aaron Boone? He's awesome.
Sure. That's what the nerds want you to think, right? As I enjoy this nice little chicken here.
See, I got hot dog and sriracha chips. Dan's got chicken. Bill, what do you got?
Well, I got a I had brunch earlier, but I got a certain drink I'll be having in a few minutes, so that's got to count for something, right?
Okay, and Mike has his tropical punch as usual.
I've got nothing because I'm going to ease into this. We had 2 outs at the top of the first with
Judge just flew out.
Stanton up.
Mike Stanton. Where do you rank his
By the
contract, Bill?
way, Mike Stanton also name of a pitcher of those 4 World Series team Yankees in the late 90s.
That is true.
Also a Mets pitcher too.
Oh, all right. Fly out by Stanton. Yankees get a hit in the first. Mets are coming up. Good job by Chris Davinsky.
Yet when you saw that ball leave off Stanton's bat, that was
I
a
thought
lot
it was
harder
going.
than it. I thought it was a lot harder hit than it was.
Yeah, when you don't have the volume on, every fly ball looks a little bit different.
So we have a great season going on in baseball right now as we're coming up into the All-Star break. And next weekend, Mike, what do we got going on for next weekend's Batters Up? We're going to have actually a special All-Star break weekend for next Sunday. Mike, what do we got going on?
Mike's talking.
He's on mute. He's on mute. I didn't realize that. I apologize.
Yeah, Mike.
So for next weekend, we're going to be having our All-Star break Sunday show. And we're going to be doing our mid-season award show, and where Danny Boy, myself, and the pun master are going to be talking about their midseason awards and where they stand. Mike, what else we got going on for All-Star Game Weekend?
So I'm gonna create a Jeopardy for you guys just based on the All-Star game. Probably add a derby element to it as well. So we should have fun with that stuff.
Hey, are we
And
doing
anybody who, sorry, go ahead, Bill.
are we doing our home run derby live stream next week, or
It depends on everybody's work schedule. I'm down for sitting and watching with the group as we always have done.
By the way, can we talk about the derby for a minute?
Absolutely.
How about the fact that the big dumper is going to do the derby?
It's starting to shape out as a good derby. It's still nothing like we used to watch during the McGuire Sosa Griffey era. But for once, we got three legitimate position players, so to speak. And rumor has it that Pete Alonso has been asked, but he will not answer until after this weekend.
Probably waiting to see if he makes the game or not.
Correct.
Which, by the way, he should.
Look, nothing against Freddie Freeman, and I know Mike and Bill have a good reflection on Freddie Freeman as he spanked them in the World Series last year. Freddie Freeman is a good fan name. He's a good damn ball player. I think Pete Alonso's having a better season, but
You
this
also
is
got to
not-
remember the game's in Atlanta. Freddie
yeah. So I mean, popularity-wise, is going to play big here for him there,
But-
obviously.
By the way, how much of a joke is it that Ronald Acuna is actually going to be starting in this game when he hasn't even played half the year? That's the biggest joke.
Bill, what do you think on that?
that Ronald Acuna is going to be starting? I think, he hasn't been, like what Mike said, he hasn't been playing most of the year, but, maybe this could be his statement, that he's not always getting injured. Well, he's always getting injured, but you get the point.
I mean, it's damn knees. That's a bum.
It,
All right.
Sorry if I'm ahead of anybody.
no, no, I'm just trying to be not the one who spoils it for anybody else as usual. Since I'm the one who's always saying,
And back to and Freed missed that.
You got freed to the max there on that one.
I was about to say, with Marte hitting, well, forget about the hitting, with Marte running like he used to, that's a hard ball to pick up and get.
Yeah.
And
That's going to be
Fried,
another interesting debate get closer to the game because since Freed and Scooble are both pitching tonight, that means they're both not pitching next Sunday, which means they're both going to be eligible to start the All-Star game.
All-Star game.
That's going
Right.
to be an interesting conversation.
I mean, with Detroit and the Yankees where they are, I think the Yankees can afford and Detroit can afford to let them be able to start the All-Star game. Dan?
Sure. It's not Freed's fault the Yankees are in third place, but yeah.
Well, let's talk how the Yankees ended up making that drop. And it's to the big foe always being Toronto, as we've been talking about them a lot this season over the last few weeks that they
By the way,
crept up from.
isn't it about time the Blue Jays actually make a big run? Like, holy shit.
Yeah, they're a damn good team. They are showing really good signs of life right now.
I've been waiting 2.5 years for the Blue Jays to be doing what they're doing.
And mind you, they
Pissing off
traded.
Pissing off Yankee fans, Mike.
No, because I've called them the sleeping giant of the American League for the last 2.5 years because they don't wake up.
I mean, when you look at that, mind you, they traded Bichette, away. But you look at that lineup, we've talked about it for years, with it being the potential of leading the AL East. And it just never showed. They never ever got hot all at the same time, leaving them always trailing from behind. For once, they're all hitting at the same time. Freedcom said it with a 2-1 count with Marte still on first. So, how was your July 4th weekends?
Mine was pretty good. I was actually Friday on the 4th went to a friend's house. We you know, went swimming, watched the game when we had some burgers and dogs. You know, what's more baseball than baseball? What's more American than baseball, burgers, and hot dogs?
Apple pie.
Yes, that too. And yesterday I was at a cousin of mine's house who is also a Met fan, so I had to hear it from him.
And I also heard you got to hear it from somebody else too.
Yes, this girl I am seeing right now. Her name is Samantha Black. If you're watching, shout out to you. Her and I, okay, she's probably gonna smack me for this later, but her and I have a bet. She's a Met fan on this
Please tell me
series.
we get to watch her smack you.
You want that, don't you?
Oh, I pay to watch that. I actually contribute to a charity.
Please get a video of me getting slapped. Um, um. Anyway, but we have a bet. Sam and I have a bet that if the winner of this who at of the winner of this season series, the loser buys drinks. Loser buys
Okay.
drinks.
That's a
What
fair
if
one.
it's a tie?
Exactly, because it
I
can
don't
happen.
know. I don't know if it's
It
going to
can
be a
happen
wash.
today.
What's the
If the Yankees
tiebreaker in
win today,
that?
it's a wash.
Yeah, because if the Yankees win this game, it's 3-3.
Yeah, if the Yankees
Yeah.
win, it's a wash. I don't know. I got to talk to her. Do we buy each other drinks?
Have
or
a
is it
push-up contest.
off? Push-up contest.
There you go.
And then you want to see
Something
her
tells
smack
me you
don't
get your butt kicked. No, the smacking part is just a tradition we all go through.
What tradition is that?
Oh, if you're not smacked by a girl at least once.
I thought you were going to say the tradition of a push-up contest. I go, wait, there's tradition of push-up contests?
No, my final year as the operations manager and head of the Hudson Valley Renegades at Dutchess Stadium, me and my disabledness decided to go up against a National Guardsman. At push-up number 45, I collapsed. He went on to do
Collapsed after
60
push-up
plus.
number 1.
No, 45, and I was done. He was still going at 60 while they were hooking up the IV to me.
Hope he sent you like a get well card or something after that.
Oh, God. Yeah, not my brightest of moments. Fun, though. That's when I actually could push my body down and pull it up.
Now, if you push it down and go back up at it.
Okay, free with still Marte leading off for first. Pitching to Juan.
Soto.
That was
Safe.
interesting.
Oh
His
yeah,
ball.
yeah.
He ain't out.
Oh, he's got him.
Did he drop the ball?
Drop the ball.
Oh, wait, hold on. Let me look.
Let's see.
Unless they're saying Volpe's foot was in the way. He beat the foot. Well, Volpe steps
Hey.
on him.
He's holding on to the bag.
You got Volpe stepping on his glove, too. The oven mitt thingy.
You got to see it from the other angle. I can't see past that shit.
No challenge from the Yankees.
Yeah. So stolen base from Marte. Now Mets have a runner in scorer position with Juan Soto up.
I thought the umpire called him out. So
He wanted to call that. And then I guess he noticed the foot, is my guess.
Soto has some good numbers off free. So let's see.
Soto hit a bomb.
1 and 2.
Soto hit a bomb on Friday.
Pete Alonso hit 2 yesterday. Aaron Judge hit one that hasn't landed yet.
Didn't matter because the Yankees lost.
But my God, when you talk no doubt home runs, the one off of Pete's bat and the one off of Judge's bat in this series, the two fastest balls I've seen hit off a bat this season.
I think one of my friends was like, he should be arrested for child abuse.
Look, he did spank a little child in the first inning.
That was a bomb. And
So Marte, 359 steals on 459 attempts, a lifetime average of 78%. Nothing wrong with those numbers. How many of you got
Oh,
the
he got it
question,
enough.
the trivia question right last night?
Wait, what was
This
the
player-
trivia question? I wasn't here.
The question was, which player for the Mets and Yankees have stolen over 40 bases in a season?
There's really only one answer.
Correct.
did they both play for the Mets and Yankees?
Yeah, that's
They
the
both
question.
played for the Mets and Yankees.
And Soto just flew out 2 outs.
Okay, so
He probably stole 40 for every team he played for.
Close.
I mean, if Ricky didn't get 40 for every team
accurate.
he played for,
Yeah, that's the first person that came to my mind. Too.
yeah.
Key Henderson.
That's the first person that came to my mind.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Now, Mike, name the player who had succeeded so much behind Ricky Henderson that year.
For wait, the Mets or the Yankees?
Oh,
Mets. Sorry, for the Mets.
fucking A.
Okay, if Ricky led
Free
off,
throws a wild pitch, sending Marte over to third.
so I'm presuming the guy who did Alfonso hit 2?
No, I'm talking about who had the best steals with Ricky Henderson that year.
Oh, most steals. I'm thinking you're asking about the line, but I was like,
No.
wasn't a Met team that really ran. So I've got to go back to 99 when I was 6. That's what you got me thinking about.
Tiny little Mike then.
Second most steal. He wasn't on base machine, but was it Ray Ordonez?
Roger Cedeno.
Another guy I wouldn't have thought of.
Roger Cedeno became
Didn't Ronnie Cedeno also play for the Mets at one point?
Yep. Roger Cedeno became the hit and run man with Ricky Henderson, accounting for more first runs scores than any other Met team in history.
And that's a fly ball that's going to be caught.
Probably.
All right, so the Mets stranded.
They're hitting him solid, but
Score after one.
that wind is blowing in.
Right.
That wind is blowing in. It's knocking those balls down because the one from Soto looked farther than it was, and then the one hit from
I still think the Stanton
Judge.
the best.
I mean Stanton. Sorry, Stanton was.
You know what? I get it. Judge and Stanton, they look a lot alike. They're big dudes. They're muscular.
Judge is the friggin' Jolly Green Giant. I swear to God, if the Yankees want to do a hell of an advertisement, just put Judge in a green suit, give him a thing of broccoli, you'll be able to sell vegetables at the stadium without a problem.
If you make him green, he'll look like Shrek.
Hey, I got a Yankee Met trivia question for you guys. Let's see if you know it.
Okay.
Who was the only manager who managed both the Yankees and the Mets to lead both teams to the World Series?
I have one.
Okay.
It was Joe or Yogi,
I want to say
but I don't remember when Yogi managed the Yankees. And I
All right, Mark, who do you think it is?
Stengel.
No.
And Mike, you said you think it's either Joe Torre or Yogi
Joe
Berra.
or Yogi.
Very hot.
Feel the burn, man.
It's actually the latter one. It's Yogi.
Ah.
I don't remember what years Yogi managed the Yankees. So
Like
He led them in 64 to the World Series. And a lot of people say that's the beginning of the end because that's when those golden years of the Yankees were just on their last limb. And that's when he led a team that was injured. Mantle was like injured, and he led them to the World Series,
Okay.
and led the Mets to the World Series in '73.
I was about to say 73 hadn't been the year he led the Mets.
Yeah.
I should have guessed Yogi, but I went with Stengel. I went with good old Casey.
Casey,
So we're now in the top of the second, still 0-0, and Bellinger has just grounded out to first.
The Red Sox are beating up on the Nationals again.
There's a surprise. Speaking of weak teams, how about the Marlins as of lately? What a performance. The Miami Marlins of non-sequential, non-really successfulness, but having a great run coming into the end of this first half, keeping him in third place in the NL East.
They're honoring Jim Leland today,
Great manager.
which I don't know what took so long since he managed their first World Series team, but
And Jim Leland brought up a young man by the name of Miguel Cabrera to beat the Yankees, and did so pretty much the rest of his career. Where's our plate of food, Mike? You get a plate food delivered?
Yeah, what do you got there, Mike?
Yeah, what are you eating?
I got some eggs.
Because eggs shout baseball. Or they at least devil.
Wait. Instead of going tomatoes, if a guy plays poorly, you throw eggs at them. Come on.
But we also
God,
bring
that was-
tomatoes to speeches. Remember that.
Ugh.
Yeah, but a
Imagine
peach
getting
can
hit with
hurt
an egg in the seat. Okay, trivia question. Which stadium has the most expensive beer?
Dodgers.
It's the most expensive beer.
Hey, Dan has the Dodgers.
Huh. I'm saying it's either the Dodgers or the Yankees.
What do you think?
I'm going to go with them. I'm going to say the Dodgers.
Okay, Bill and Dan with the Dodgers. Michael?
Most expensive beer. You know what? If they were smart, it'd be either the White Sox or the Rockies, just so they get people more drunk. But I'll go with the Yankees. I'll be the opposite.
Okay, so the answer is neither one. Dan, we know you do not drink, but we know you have attended the stadium where it is $16 to get a beer at the Nationals.
Really?
$16 for the Primo beer. Where at Yankee Stadium, it maxes out at 11, City Field at 11.50, Dodger Stadium at 13, and in second place, Mike called it, the Chicago White Sox.
Which, by the way, if the White Sox were to make beer cheaper, they'd have higher attendance. That way more people could get drunk at their games since they're not worth watching. But
And you would think they would sell Milwaukee Pabst, but I mean, or Milwaukee Blue Ribbon, but no, that's not what they sell at the Brewers games. Two can
You want to know something though? Whilst we're on
has
the
his first
topic,
strikeout.
whilst we're on the topic of beer,
you want to give us
I
your
went-
top 5 beers?
There we go.
I was gonna go another direction, but
Okay.
You can go your
ahead, Bill.
but no, I'll give you that in a second. Okay. I was at the when I was at the Yankee game last week when they lost 7-0, and yikes. We were sitting near the there was a bar there, and guess what? Draft beer was like nearly $7, which is compared to other beer at Yankee Stadium, that's like,
Ugh.
it's like cheap.
I am probably next to Dan, as Dan does not drink. I will have my occasional drinks. I hate beer.
Really.
If I go to a ball game, I'll have a beer with with whoever I'm with, unless I'm taking my kids. But I'll have a beer with whoever I'm with. But as long as it's a Coors Light, I'm fine. Otherwise, I am not a beer guy.
Oh,
Well, that's like me. Are you more of a mixed drink type of guy, or?
No, I'm more of an 18-year single malt guy.
So single malt scotch.
Yes, I'm a big Scotch drinker. That's well, yeah. I like to drink Scotch. I don't drink it that often.
What about whiskey?
After a long Monday night on the network at times, yeah, I used to finish off the night with a nightcap.
No love for whiskey.
Scotch over whiskey, but I can drink bourbon and whiskey if they do not have a brand of whiskey I like.
No.
Now, Phil, you said you have some favorite beers. What favorite
Okay,
beers
here's
are
my
those?
top 5.
Mind you, all of these are not sponsors.
Shout out Patch for the not a sponsors.
Not sponsors. Okay, my number 5 in no particular order, by the way. My number 5. I've really been starting to like this beer lately. I like Michelob Ultra. I do like Michelob Ultra. I don't because it's something I like the lighter beers because Bud Light I'm kind of meh about, and that has nothing to do with the stuff that happened there a year or two ago. That has nothing to do with it. But it's basically your college buzz beer, you know. I also like coming in next. I like as me and my brother call it the white dad beer, Corona. Hey, Corona's good when you put a nice lime in it.
Your Vin Diesel drink.
Yeah, Corona. Like it's something you gotta, you're in the mood. If you're in the mood for a nice summer day, you want something nice with a lime, Corona. I also like. I haven't had this in a while, but I should really have it. I should really have it now that it's summer. Ever had summer shandy?
No.
Heard of it, never had.
It's like this sort of like lemonade type of flavor beer. It sounds weird, but it's actually really good.
Is it similar to like Mike's Hard or no?
No, because it's a beer. And just for the record, I'm only counting beers. I'm not counting ciders or like Mike's Hard. Even though I love ciders and I love Mike's Hard, I haven't had Mike's Hard in a while. Let's see, Michelob, Corona. You know I gotta have this on my list. You know I gotta have it. As an Irishman, you know I have to have it.
Guinness.
Guinness.
Whoever puts milk in beer, give me a break.
Wait, you don't like Guinness?
I sipped one once. It took me like an hour to get through just the top layer.
I gotta
don't
tell you, I
drink
was at a
beer.
wedding. I was at a wedding I was at a wedding about a month ago, Mark. And 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 usually I can do like 1 or 2 Guinnesses, but I must have had like 3 or 4. It was not at the wedding. They had something the night before. And and there was this English guy, he's a friend of a family friend, and he's like, "Oh, your last name is Murphy, and you're embracing your Irish stereotype by drinking Guinness."
Better than an accent I could have done, so.
And then what I really like now, and I've really grown to like this beer, I really like Heineken.
It's a good call.
See, I'm not a beer drinker, but a friend of mine says you'll like a Belgian wheat, so have a Blue Moon. It's fruity, it's nice, it's light.
Blue Moon is solid.
I
Blue
took a
Moon is
sip.
good.
It tasted like French feet. I was like, that's it. I am done with beer.
I don't know how you feel like. I don't know how you know what a French foot tastes like, but all right.
Yeah, I don't want to know what kind of foot you've been here.
But by the way, we got our first final of the day. The Orioles beat the Braves 2-1. That's
Good.
a sweep for the Orioles.
It's a big accomplishment considering the Orioles have been a lackluster team and considering they're from the AL East. Dan, what is your thought on the fact that the Orioles have pretty much plummeted this season?
Well, kudos to them. I mean, the Orioles are finding ways to drag out some wins. They even had the yesterday where they went to extra innings with the Braves. So yeah, just good resilient team, I guess.
Freed with the hanger there to Vientos 0-2. Max Fried starting off the game as the matchup against the Mets. A lot of down and in. Gotta love those Oakleys.
All right.
Those are cool Oakleys.
Oh my God!
If you couldn't tell, Dan was frustrated right there.
Right, they can't.
He needs to get out of shortstop. Swear to God.
Sort of think Volpe did something stupid because I'm delayed here. So
Yeah, they think he may not be back till September.
Oh, but it's not Tommy John then.
No, it's like something with his rib.
Who? What?
Huh?
Who rib? Who rib?
Oh, Schwellenbach, Braves.
Got it.
Speaking of which, Braves kind of bring up a topic that was discussed on the MLB Network. Mark, you and I were talking about it before, the Acuna stuff.
So Ronald Acuna. We've
By the
all
way,
had
this
our
was brought up by
comments.
Joel Sherman, not just us.
Yeah, Ronald Acuna had, we saw last year tore his ACL halfway through the season, ending his season and starting his season late this season. Has a very hot start to the season and has been named the starter in right field for the All-Star game. Myself, Dan, and I know Mike last weekend have
Why
mentioned
would-
this, and we were all disappointed in the fact that he was being allowed to start considering only playing half a year. But Mike had made a very good point that the game is in Atlanta this year and popularity matters. Dan and Bill, what are your takes again on Ronald Acuna getting the start in right field? And is it worthy or not?
It's worthy. It's not as. Oh, I'm not going to make it a big deal as people are making it out to be. Look, Acuna has played well enough, and look, it's the All-Star game. He's an All-Star, so put him out there. It's a start. It doesn't mean he's playing the whole game. He's playing what an inning, maybe inning and a half.
One or two, yeah.
Who cares?
No, I think it's worth. I could see why it is a big deal because he gets injured every 38 seconds. But at the same time, though, he's been there for a while. He's like their top go-to guy. So I would say it's not a big deal that he's starting. So be it. Let him start.
For me, call me old-fashioned. To me, you should have
You're
to
the old ops
play.
guy.
I am the old ops guy. You should have to play better than 60% of the first half of the season to qualify as an all-star.
But just be an all-star. I mean,
To qualify to be an all-star, you should have to play 60%. Just like if in the second half, at the end of the season, let's say Nolan Ryan was still pitching and he was on the Angels still. The Yankees couldn't go and sign him at the end of the season for whatnot reason to come play for the Yankees at the last second. Has to play for a certain amount of each team to be able to qualify to play for their playoffs
Yeah.
or all-star permission.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going.
Yes, I'm eating a fruit
Did
by
I
the
just see a
foot.
fruit
Who
roll.
is Zach Pop?
Fruit by the foot, baby.
Oh, I remember those.
See, when
Third
you're at a
inning.
ball game, if you're at a ball game and you don't want to spend $9,000 during the first three
Where did
innings,
that come from?
you got to come equipped with snackies.
I agree with that. Or you know what? You know what I do? My dad and I did this last week. Hold on, Wells. He hits up. It is out of here. Austin Wells home run, and the Yankees take a 1-0 lead.
Okay,
Sorry,
is
Miss
Will-
Black, you're gonna have to put up with that all day now.
Sorry, Sam. But
I don't know. Is your name Black, Troy? I
Wait,
wasn't calling you. I wasn't calling you, bud.
It's really losing numbers. I love it.
I'm
Anyway,
calling the little guy.
what was I saying? We were talking about we said like food, like what my dad and I did, like when we went last week, like before we went down. When we went down, we got before we got into the stadium, we got a dirt water hot dog, off the cart.
Nothing better.
And we also got because this is what my dad has been dying for. We got a slice of good old New York City pizza.
Sal's on 23rd Street. Shout out.
Yeah, it was like really, really good. Good because you know what? It beats spending your life savings in the stadium.
Well, an easy amount of food at the stadium, when it be drinks, a snack, and a meal. An average person, what do you say? I say about $35 to $40 a person.
I think that's about accurate.
Right to the squirrel.
I think that's
Who
about
finds
it.
it?
Who finds a nut every once in a while, as Mike politely said. Mike, who do we have joining us in the background who's so nice and spoken up there?
Don't worry about it.
What is?
Don't worry about it. Got it. Don't worry about it. Mike currently has a member of the DEA there monitoring everybody, part of Trump's force.
What did you just say?
As Mike's keeping it secret who's there.
It's just my mother.
I know. We got to have a little fun on the network with everybody and family.
Yes,
Mom
we
knows
do.
I love her. Mom knows I love her. I keep her signature very close by. Yes, I know what I'm talking about because your mom sent me the check
The check.
But
for your dad's card.
That's right. That's right. The card he loves. Oh,
It's cool. It was a cool NT.
By the way, just to break non-baseball stuff. Apparently the Kevin Durant trade has now got 7 teams involved.
I just got that notification too.
Okay, I don't have my phone, so repeat that.
The Kevin Durant trade to Houston has 7 teams involved.
7 teams.
Yeah.
I know what it was proposed as the other day. What it was going to take. I think it was at 5 at that point. I did not know it was going to reach this many.
Yeah, so here it is. The Rockets get Kevin Durant and Clint Capella. Phoenix gets Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, Kaman Malak, Rasheer Fleming, Kobe Bray, Daquan Plowden, great name, and a future second-round pick. The Lakers get Adu Thero. The Nets get 2 second-round picks. The Timberwolves get Rocco Zikarsky, 2 future second-round picks and cash considerations. And the Hawks get David Roddy, a future second-round pick swap with Houston, and cash considerations.
That is the most confusing and absurd deal I've ever heard of.
Thank you.
That's too much.
And
I mean, obviously, I understand Clint Capella coming from Atlanta, going to Houston with Durant. It's a good pickup for Houston, giving them a big man to go along inside with Durant, giving them a nice center and a power forward now, but they're not young guys anymore. All right, as we end the 3rd inning, Aaron Judge grounds out, and we head on to the 3rd inning, and into the bottom of the 3rd. Yankees up 1-0 after the Austin Wells 389-foot home run to right field.
Well, I'll give Zach Pop this. He gives the other team some pop.
So let's see. Right now, we have a interesting race for a home run derby king. I mean, not home run derby king. I mean, home run leader for this year. Right now, leading Major League Baseball, as Mike eloquently loves to say his nickname, and we'll let him just shout it out again.
Dude, Big Dumper might be the best nickname in all sports. Maybe the history of sports.
The big dumper in Cal Raleigh, who now hit, what was it, 2 yesterday?
He's
Giving
at
him 33?
35.
35, sorry. 35.
By the
Sorry,
way,
he was at
tied
33.
Ken Griffey Jr.'s record for most before the All-Star break by a Mariner.
Just beat me on that one, too. Thank you. I don't believe, I mean, obviously, by the numbers itself, this is the all-time home run performance as a catcher in the first half of Major League history, surpassing Johnny Bench's 1975 or 74 season, one of the 2 years. And let me tell you, we've seen a lot of great catchers come between Johnny Bench and Cal Raleigh. We've had Piazza, you've had Pudge Rodriguez. I mean, that's just to name 2 out of a very long list of power home run hitters and whatnot. How is it that it's taken this long to beat Johnny Bench's record?
I don't think there's been a lot of power hit. Like we had Piazza, and then it kind of hit a lull with power hitting catchers. And Johnny Bench was in 70, not 75.
70. All right, my bad. I knew it was in the 70s. I thought it was in the middle of it, not the beginning of it. Okay.
Third on that list was Pudge, though, in 2000 with 26.
Right.
That's from Darryl Langs.
But we now have Cal Raleigh setting a new precedent for catchers. Is this now the new expectancy for a catcher?
I think we're trending that way again, where we're getting more power hitting catchers. Because you got Cal Raleigh, Austin Wells. Even though we could talk about Yankee Stadium, but he's perfect for what Yankee Stadium is. Mark, we've talked about the power of Francisco Alvarez.
That has not showcased really as of yet.
It's showcasing great in Syracuse.
Kneels up.
Doesn't do us any good.
JT Realmuto is more of a contact catcher. But yeah, I think catchers are. I think we're starting to see the rise of the home run again. Anyway,
Bill,
You repeat the question again. I'm sorry, I kept my eye on the game.
with Cal Raleigh having the year he's having and the stats he's putting up, is this what the new expectancy is going to be from a catcher?
To be honest, I'm not 100% sure. It could be because Raleigh has been absolutely tearing it up so far. He's been absolutely tearing it up so far. We've also have seen, and you guys were just talking about like how over the past couple of decades we had Johnny Bench, we had Piazza, Pudge, Realmuto, but we have a lull of power hitting. Like, can he set a new standard? I think it's possible for catchers because usually catchers there is kind of that lull in power hitting, except for those few I just mentioned. So,
Dan, what is your take on it?
I love Cal Raleigh.
The man of so few words. No.
But he's had a tremendous season. I mean, no, the fact that he's putting up as much power as he has, and look, it's rare that we see a power hitting catcher. We already talked about how much we don't see it. The fact that we are seeing it again is pretty cool. It's a pretty cool thing.
but by the way, we should mention too the Mariners need his offense.
Since the collapse of Julio Rodriguez. over the
Julio
last
hasn't
2
had
years.
the year we thought, and that's a team that's been starved for offense for the last 3 years.
With the presence of Cal Raleigh, it's hopefully going to draw more protection for Julio Rodriguez. And I don't think Seattle's going to make that much of a run, but I think they have a potential to be a thorn in a lot of people's sides. But can they garnish? Can they garnish the free agency players they need to help support that pitching staff more and more, considering how good it is?
Pitching staff's going to need a lot of support going forward, especially if they're going to make a run in the AL West, which right now looks like Bill's favorite team, the Houston Astros, are just running away with it again.
Mhm.
But by the way, how about the beatdown they put on the Dodgers the other night? But yeah, the Mariners have to find consistency offensively if they're going to make any kind of run.
Well, I mean, they're doing so well in that Western Division before the Astros got hot. You know,
The Astros have been red hot, it feels like, for 2 months now. That's really what it feels like. They're doing it so different than it was before. It's not just Altuve. Oh, that's going to drop. But
Lazy
and
light
it's not
ball
just
into right
Altuve.
field.
They haven't
falls in
even
front
had
of
Jordan Alvarez healthy.
What was it? 18-1. The Astros
18 to
did
1.
on the Dodgers.
Tied for the worst loss in the history of Dodger Stadium.
I don't think I see a more dominating performance from the Astros in recent years, especially against a high-profile team.
It
That
got
wasn't
so
used
bad.
with
Oral
garbage cans.
Hershiser, who was commentating for the Dodgers, even suggested, "Oh, maybe they got the trash cans back."
Well, that's the comment that I was saying. Perfect segue into this because this should be a topic of discussion. Oral Hershiser, as Mike just revealed to, made a comment last night saying it's like they know these curveballs are coming before they're even up to the plate.
Uh-oh.
Making a reference to Dan, Bill's, Mike's, and my favorite time of the Houston Astros season, in which, with so much controversy, with the famous Jose Altuve home run, where he refused to let his jersey get pulled off because of the possibility of a transceiver underneath his jersey so he could get signals on what the pitches were. The issue also came to Carlos Beltran's garbage can smashing technique to also help call out pitches. Mike, Dan, and Bill and I covered this for a while. Let's get their takes on it while I take a step away for a moment.
Listen, if you're a Hershiser, I don't know why you even suggest it. Just take the beating like it is. Every team's going to have one or two of those in a season.
Oh, absolutely.
So, I mean, just take it and accept what happens. They're not using the trash can again because there's too much. Baseball's implemented too many rules. There's too many people involved. There's just no way anything went down. So, sorry. I just can't see them being using the cans again.
I agree with you, Mike. I just think, that time is done.
Get over it.
And listen, we all have been ripping on them, and certain people I know still rip on the Astros for this and call them cheaters, which they did. They did cheat, to be fair. But there's always a but there, though, Mikey. The but is it was what, 8 years ago now?
Yeah, 17.
It was like 8 years ago. You know, everyone who has been involved in that has been disciplined.
yeah.
And in the case of a guy like Alex Bregman, he's not even on the team anymore.
Yeah. Well,
They're
that
either not on the team, manager was fired. Like,
By the way, that
And-
manager's got the best record in the American League right now with the Detroit Tigers.
yeah, and that's another thing. First of all, Joe Espada would never allow that bullcrap to happen. It happened under Hinch, but Hinch learned from that mistake and is now doing it clean with the Tigers. Overall, the whole thing was a one-time thing, maybe two times if you count the Altuve thing, and the Astros haven't done it since. So it's over.
And to insinuate that you think they're doing it again is just ludicrous. That's Freed got Lindor to pop out 10 in the
It's
inning.
sore loser talk. There you go, Freed.
It really is. You're 100% right. Still 1-0 Yanks as we go.
Head into the fourth.
Going to the fourth, right?
As we head into the fourth inning, Yankees lead 1-0.
By the way, I know we brushed on it, but let's go deeper into this. The Yankees guys have been struggling.
Yes.
I know you guys have Bombers banter that you do, but
we're probably going to do that sometime this week or next week.
no, I'm just curious of what's gone wrong.
Reg, what do you think?
The manager is one.
Boone's managing has been atrocious.
Bad. But a lot of it's also that we keep losing players. So that
injuries have been piling up. Schmidt just got hurt.
Like that doesn't.
Yeah, that's a massive loss.
That's tough for the.
He's been pitching well.
He ain't going to be back probably to if he ever comes back to the Yankees. 2 years. Well, it's that, and then you see Goldschmidt dropping off. You saw Ben Rice, who got off to a good start. He's dropped off. Opie has been god awful. We keep moving people around defensively, so we're not consistent defensively. It's a whole thing, and it starts with management.
Currently, the Yankees manager is Aaron Boone. And
sorry to cut you off there, Mark. Go ahead.
Sorry. No, it's currently Aaron Boone. And we've seen the Mets go through a couple managers over the last couple of years. What is the ultimate result for Aaron Boone?
I hate to say this because I'm a Yankee fan, and I don't want this to happen. I want to win. But there's going to have to be another season, another disastrous season, where the Yankees have to miss the playoffs, miss it badly by a lot, for there to be a wake-up call. The last time the Yankees had that was in 2023, and Boone got an extension. Cashman got an extension.
And because you know what it was, Reggie, if you look at 2022 and then 2023, 2022, the Yankees made it to the LCS, and even though they got swept by the Astros, Cashman, Steinbrenner, they had no leg to stand on to fire Boone because they got him to the LCS. But then in 2023, you missed the playoffs. They had a huge leg to stand on.
Yes.
They had a huge leg to stand on to fire him.
Like right there, right then and there. And look, it paid off. They went to the World Series, but then, Bill, there's another thing we talked about as Cody Bellinger was up with a 1-0 count. Look, the bottom line is the reason why the Yankees even got to the World Series was because they had experience on their side.
Yes.
He scored. No, of course he's slow. The reason why, because he had experience on his side. He had an American League that was so weak. The managers were terrible.
No, we have said this. We have said this many a times before. The road to the World Series last year for the Yankees was so easy.
Right. And the only reason why, the teams like the Tigers couldn't go far because they're an upstart team. Now, of course, the Tigers are not an upstart team, and now they have experience on their side because they've been to the playoffs, and of course, you have a World Series winning manager. But the Yankees had experience on their side. Then they got to the World Series. They faced Dave Roberts, and they had no experience on their side.
Look,
and every mistake they made got exploited.
Like
exactly.
For the first time in the playoffs, they were playing a team that was either on their level or in the Dodger case. The Dodgers are
above.
Yeah, Dodgers. They were the best team.
They were better
in baseball.
So I'm putting that into context because people need to understand Aaron Boone is not a great manager, has never been a great manager. And
100%
it's
agree.
running its course.
2-0 Yankees. Volpe grounds into a fielder's choice, driving in Stanton, who led off the inning with a double.
But finally, a good at bat from Volpe. But it's been run its course, Mike.
Here's the other thing. This person doesn't, in my opinion, doesn't deserve a pass either. That's Brian Cashman.
Yeah.
No, 100%. Like,
Brian Cashman, to me, and I've said this from what he did this winter. Listen, you're going to get an A+ for the Max Fried side. Max Fried's been awesome. But Paul Goldschmidt, as great as he was at the beginning of the year, you couldn't expect him to be that player all year. He's another guy aging. Bellinger, he's played fine. But my question to you guys, as going back to Goldschmidt, is why couldn't they just live with Ben Rice playing first base and give him the reps?
Right.
That's what confuses me, because Goldschmidt just feels like right-handed Anthony Rizzo.
Well, it's that, but it's also the makeup of everything else. Like Jazz Chisholm playing third. Why is Jazz Chisholm playing third?
Didn't know he could play third.
You know, Bill, this was before he got injured. Remember how I was screaming, Bregman, 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 Bregman? Well, this
yes.
is exactly why. And look, he's hurt. Okay, fine, whatever. But that would have been a better idea than what we have now. And just adding more to that, they signed Jamer Candelario off the street.
Yep.
And he's going to the minor leagues. I don't want minor leagues. I want him here.
See, when Bregman became pretty much the biggest third baseman name out there from the pretty much free agency standpoint, Mike and I had talked about the fact that, yeah, we would want him, but that would give the Mets 3 first basemen up on the major league level, and that doesn't make sense. Then comes the situation with Boston. Why Boston signed Bregman is because they thought they were going to have the 3-4 mix-up that they wanted, but they didn't think they were going to run into the Devers problem that they did.
Yeah.
To Dan's and Bill's not understanding, to their point, I think Bregman would have been the signing the Yankees really needed. Besides, Max Fried, as Mike put it out there, has been beyond magnificent this season.
Yeah.
He's
been great to the max. Got to give it to him.
Yeah. He's starting the All-Star game for a reason. He's one of the best pitchers in baseball right now. And he's been consistent from the first game of the season. He has not really faltered off. But we've also learned to expect that from Fried, especially after watching him play for Atlanta the last few years. But we've seen both the Mets and the Yankees fall and get back up and fall and get back up. Mike makes a good point that certain position players, Dan brings up a point about Bregman. Here's my problem with the Yankees, and it has nothing to do with their lineup. I think their lineup is very capable. It's just in a slump like the Mets were in right now. But here's my biggest problem, and I think Mike, Dan, and Bill all touched on it, is there's no consistency in this team.
No, it isn't.
Bellinger has been good.
Mm-hmm.
But next to Judge and Bellinger, who's the consistent threat?
Well, here's the other thing. That this lineup is so home run dependent that if they're not hitting the ball out of the park, they don't do situational things right. How many games in extra innings have they lost because they can't get in the runner from second base?
But Mike, just having a runner.
Yeah.
Runner.
But here's the other part to that. To Dan's point. Now teams are starting to pitch around Aaron Judge. Which
he's getting the Barry Bonds treatment.
Why you weren't doing this earlier is befuddling to me. But now you have Stanton back, and we know what Stanton is. This lineup, one, it's not deep enough. 2, there's not a consistency. And 3, there are elements to this team that just you're waiting for a spark, but when you're so home run dependent,
Yeah.
that spark usually is, hey, go first to third on a base hit. Hey, steal me a base, try to steal me a run here.
Yeah. But
They don't
they're
do
not
that.
someone dependent, Mike. The manager is terrible. He can't manage a
I agree with you. I think the manager is terrible, but I also think this goes on the GM for constructing the team the way he has also. DJ LeMahieu got a 6-year deal a couple of years ago. We knew DJ LeMahieu was going to decline. We didn't realize how quickly it was going to happen.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's gone downhill for DJ LeMahieu. Peraza, when he plays, doesn't hit. Volpe, listen, Volpe can hit the ball out of the park. I think he's got 11 homers, but he's hitting 250.
You know, to go on a top thing that Mike said, the home run ball is obviously back. You know, as of the last few years, a lot more. The ball's seeming to be more lively, or otherwise known juiced, as the word is used today. Can a team like the Yankees just survive on the fact that better than 50% of their lineup is capable of 20-plus home runs a season?
Well, we're watching it right now. Small ball. And you get 3 runs on the small ball. If they
Right, 2 runs on fielder's choice.
if they just do that, they don't have to do that the entire game. If they get a big 3-run double, fine, cool, whatever. But if they just do that, they'd be in so many games. It's not even funny.
And the other part to them being in games for me, I want to just go to the other side for a minute. Let's talk about the pitching. Fried has been great. Clark Schmidt, before he got hurt, has been great. Carlos Rodon, he was terrible yesterday. And for a $150 million pitcher, whatever he makes, he's got to be better.
Yeah,
187.
Look, and he has been better over the last year, but he hasn't been great. He's not consistent enough.
Right. But here's the thing, Dan. He needs to be great and consistent because he's become the number 2 guy without Garrett Cole.
Yeah.
If Garrett Cole's in the rotation and he's pitching at 3,
Yeah.
fine. Be inconsistent. They need him to be better.
And we thought he had turned the corner when it was May and he was having all these great starts back to back. We thought this was his turning point. He finally got it. He can finally be the steady pitcher that we thought he would be, and he's not. Bad starts in a row. He can't get off the field. He's too exhausted in Cincinnati. Like all these things that just rub you the wrong way about him.
And then when they get great starting, the bullpen the last 7 games has been terrible.
Well, you're poop positive yesterday. Excuse me. Poop positive yesterday. Yankees cut it within 2, which, of course, we didn't expect to happen. We thought
By the
not
way,
at all.
This is to your point about the manager.
It
2-run game, you're bringing in a guy making his debut to face Pete
I'm so
Alonso.
sorry. What are you doing there? You cut it within 2, and then next thing you know, Pete Alonso, 3-run shot. Mets get another one. I think it was a Lindor or something. Single.
Yeah, Lindor got a base hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't see much of it yesterday because I was at my cousin's house yesterday, but I had it on my phone. But still, that is preposterous. Why are you going to bring someone in the MLB debut against Pete Alonso, hits a 3-run shot? On what planet does this make sense on, guys?
4 runs after the Yankees cut it to 2. 4 runs.
Correct.
Brutal.
The Aaron Boone management at its finest.
I know Dan was at work on Friday when the Yankees and Mets teed off. And I had said to him, I'm telling you, Aaron Judge is going to hit one out. He says, you'll still win, bro. Don't worry. Yeah, it'll be fine. I'm like, and after the first inning, I text Dan. I said, yeah, that one just landed in my backyard. So, you know, as much as I want to say, Pete Alonso got even for what Aaron Judge did when he spanked the Mets, brought up pitcher, these kids are going to have to learn somehow. I mean, look, I don't think you bring him in against Alonso of all people, but
Not a pressure situation where you have to hold a team.
right. And that being as fair as anything else. Bottom of the fourth, 3-0 Yankees. Soto at the bat, freed at 54 pitches.
How about that, Bill? 2 straight innings of Yankees scoring runs. How about that?
I know, right? This is like
It's almost like you're facing a bullpen game.
we kind of are, yeah.
Oh my God. Have they ever done that before, Mike?
I don't know, but oh, that's not a strike. That is a terrible call.
On the sweeper? Yeah.
That's not a strike.
No, it was too high.
No, the 0-1.
It was too high. Oh, let me see. I didn't see the 0-1.
The look on Soto's face was kind of precious.
Soto was like, "There's no way."
No. I missed.
Now he's going to strike out.
By the way, if they bring the ABS system in to baseball like they're doing in the minors with the tapping on the head,
That's still a few years away. Because you have to figure that's going to add another 30 minutes to the game.
no, it takes like 5 seconds. It doesn't do much.
Yeah, but if you do it enough over the game. Strike 3, you're out. Look, baseball is trying to do everything to make it creative. After, a long time we got interleague play. After that, we're going to have intersports play where it's going to be baseball versus football. After that, we're going to
That's
have...
not happening.
Come on, we're going to have Irish step dances at the end of touchdown celebrations. We're going to
Can't wait for that.
Oh, is Bill going to be like Homer Simpson in the Simpsons episode where he teaches touchdown celebrations? He just teaches everyone how to Irish step dance.
Oh, you know what it's gonna be like? You know that and I'm glad you brought up The Simpsons. Have you ever seen that episode when Bart and Homer are being interested in being Catholic and they show this like this heaven of like Protestant heaven and Catholic heaven. Catholic heaven is like the and I love when they go like, now dance your heavenly gods, and they're doing the river dance.
That at The Simpsons.
Best scene out of any Simpson anything is out of the Simpson movie alone. There is nothing better. Bart, Lisa, clap for Alaska. It doesn't get much better than that.
But Dad, clap for Alaska.
Okay. If the Simpsons has taught us anything, we are so smart. SMRT.
SMRT. Yes, I remember that.
I was about to say, come on.
SMART. I forgot.
Homer sings it when he takes down his GED. I am so smart. SMRT.
SMRT.
Yes.
And then
I know how to spell smart though, Bill, otherwise, but thank you.
Yeah. I actually saw the Simpsons movie in theaters.
I saw the first Simpsons episode when it premiered.
That Mark, you're just aging yourself.
I know. Old. I actually saw the first skit short done on the Tracy Ullman show on HBO. When they used to put it in there before it ever became anything big.
When Robin laid an egg.
Oh man.
Down is 2 now.
Oh.
Come on,
Blue Jays are winning again. They're up 2-1 on the Angels after 4.
So wait, how did the Yankees get it to be 3-0? I was in the bathroom.
Another fielder's choice.
Okay, thank you.
I think it was Austin Wells.
We don't have to worry too much yet. The Yankees bullpen hasn't come into play yet.
Yep.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh no, he's at 66. He may not be able to go all 9.
No, at 66 pitches, I'd be very surprised he goes past 6 innings.
Yeah, he'll go 6.
Keep working the count, guys.
You know,
Go for it.
Aaron Boone is going to do some stupid Aaron Boone things.
You know Aaron Boone's favorite movie? Here Comes the Boone. He replaced Kevin James in that one.
Great movie.
Or remember, Mike? Oh, the roof was open.
Uh,
I'm gonna let that soar above my head.
Mark, here's the guy the Mets really need to get going offensively, Mark Vientos.
Vientos is in a spiral that I haven't seen in a long, long time. This is your true sophomore slump if you've ever seen it. Unfortunately for Mark Vientos, he doesn't have the luxury to play around with. You have the fact that Beatty, Mauricio, and Acuna all are here. And eventually the Mets can't keep everybody. The Mets are going to end up giving up a third baseman. I am well convinced of that. The Mets need pitching. And right now, if you're looking at the least of the Mets third baseman performers, it's Mark Vientos.
The only problem with giving him up is you saw what he could do last year. So that puts you in a conundrum. But,
plus, the amount of control he has is insane.
Yeah.
That's why I don't think you can give him up just for a Mitch Keller. He has
no. It has to be someone
else.
bigger.
Yes.
Don't lose him, Freed. Don't lose him.
Maybe Freed is just pitched to the max.
He might be fried after being out there all day.
Ouch.
He might be.
3-1 to Vientos.
Ball 4. Ball 8. Ball 12, and he walked the bases loaded. How can guys stay off pitches that close?
I know, right?
Shout out to the great Bob Uecker.
R.I.P.
And Vientos grounds out 10 the inning. So 3-0 Yankees after 4.
Yep.
I'm surprised Vientos didn't take another pitch.
I was going to say the same thing. Why are you swinging there when the guy hasn't been able to find the plate over his last 8 pitches?
And that's part of the funk.
Gotta
Bring
have
the
fun.
funk.
And that's a great that you mentioned that, because it's not like the Mets have been playing this spectacular baseball. You know, they just ran into a very struggling New York Yankees.
Well, the Mets have suffered as much as the Yankees have come the pitching aspect of the game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the Mets have had – actually, the Yankees have had more than the Mets had. They've had at least one solid pitcher all season. I mean, the Mets have had David Peterson from the start. So, I mean, that's I guess you're most consistent without hitting the IL list. If the Mets have the pitching they have, then there should be no reason why they are where they are.
And
but
the
that
other
could go the same for the Yankees, in all fairness.
And the other problem for the Mets is these stars just don't go deep into games, and so they've worn out this bullpen, which is why David Stearns is signing guys off the street and just bringing them up, because when these starters are only going 4 or 5 innings, you're blowing out the pen every day. Like Peterson went 7 the other night, and it was like maybe you could push him the 8th, but then the pitch count. But according to Carlos Mendoza, Kodai Senga, depending on how he feels after he pitched his rehab game last night. Sean Manaea, I think, pitches one either tomorrow or Tuesday. That might be the end of both rehab stints, and you could see them
back in time for the Royals series.
Weekend.
Yeah, for the Royals series, yeah. For the Mets right now, it's not that they have to worry about falling behind, especially now that they're only a half game behind Philadelphia as of this morning.
Yes.
But over the last week, the Mets have had to worry about falling a few games behind Philadelphia, but luckily Philadelphia is also currently going through the same troubles like the Mets are with slumping players, etc.
They're down 1-0, bottom of the 5th to the Reds.
Which is a big help, right now. Thank you, Cincinnati. in
And they
keeping
got
the
Zach
Mets as
Wheeler
close
on
as they're
the
going to be.
mound.
Wheeler's on the bump today.
Yeah.
Shout out
Wheeler's
to
giving
one
up one hit. It was a home run.
Oh boy.
But that's the Zach Wheeler we all remember from when he was traded over 2015 when Beltran was traded away. 2016,
All
sorry.
right,
Beltran was traded.
we're in the top of the fifth. Goldschmidt is on the hill. Goldschmidt to
Yeah.
bat. Sorry.
And currently 1-2 to Paulie. He hasn't
Guy
been
Waddle like a
gold.
Dutch
He hasn't been
man.
worth gold since Arizona.
He had some good years in St. Louis.
Not as good as Arizona. St. Louis, he had better protection in the lineup.
Yeah, Nolan Arenado, who, by the way, is having a phenomenal year this year.
Yep.
And you wanted to trade him St. Louis.
I don't see that being still a far-fetched idea.
You know what? Right now, that's going to drop in. That's a double.
His value, that's over his head. Nice play
Just
off the
like
wall.
cable car.
Nice play off the carom.
And there is a
Holy shit. So this was a card that was just pulled by a friend of mine. 3-piece autograph of Chevy Chase, Christopher McDonald that signed Shooter underneath, and John Daly.
Shout out Shooter McGaffin.
What a great autograph. And now the one underneath it, I really don't know how you can actually get better. And this is from a Marvel perspective. Chris Hemsworth, Benedict Cumberbatch, Tom Hiddleston, and Paul Bettany. What an autograph card.
that is wow.
Speaking of cards, the Dugout of Millwood will be premiering a brand new podcast this month called A Top-Notch Look into the Art of Co-Signing. How you can succeed in the baseball card business, produced and produced by the one and only Old Ops guy on how to tell your value of cards and be able to get your best price from what you have. Now back to baseball.
By the way, back to your Cardinal point. They're right now tied for that third wild card spot in the National League. And they're only hold on, I'm gonna get the efficiency. They're only 5.5 behind the Cubs. And they play the Cubs.
As long as the Cubs play the way they've played this first half of the season, they go in as NL Central champions. I really don't think there's anybody else in the Central that's going to overtake the Cubs. Bringing it to the Cardinals.
You knew that one was coming. Aaron Judge does Aaron Judge things.
A two-run
shot to left center.
The Yanks are up 5-0.
And the
But it's
happiest
only the
person
fifth
in the
inning.
world is Michael Kay.
No, I think Dan, look at those cheeks and those dimples.
I don't know about
Dan.
that. Michael Kay was pretty upset the past 2 days.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I look, Michael Kay, I don't mind listening to as long as I never have to listen to John Sterling again. I'm fine.
Hey, you show that man some respect.
Oh, come on. I have listened to announcers, and probably still the best one I ever heard call a game is Vin Scully. And that goes really without saying.
No, I will not debate.
But I've listened to announcers. But I swear to God, how many times I was in a car or whatnot. It is high. It is far. It is caught.
Oh, it's caught by the shortstop.
Stop or something, which drove me nuts as you're driving and you're like, told you he was going to get hit. I told you how it was going to be. Yes, you owe me, you mother.
I'll say this: Aaron Judge just helped me out on the beat the streak thing, so I'll take it.
Yeah, no, that's before FanDuel and Fanatics and all that. You had John Sterling to let you down. You bet $20. Bet $20. Whoever's going to hit a home run back then. Let's Let's give it to Tony Clark of the Yankees at that point, and John Sterling. It is high. It is far. It is. Yeah, no, that didn't make it. I'm sorry. I
But-
felt bad for John
Mr.
Sterling when he got
Waddell,
clocked.
you're gonna probably have to take this one on the chin.
I'm sorry, when he got clocked with the ball. Oh, that was just the ending to not a way to end your lifetime as a Yankee.
Oh, Stan flies out to Soto, 2 outs, top of the 5th.
So, I have this dustbuster, and the only reason why I had this dustbuster is because the dustpan that I brought out from Mark broke. So, well, let me just dust it out. All the broom, sweepings that you guys are going to do today, but I may have to put this away if the Yankees can.
You might have to put it away.
Maybe it's a new Ghostbusters machine. I don't know.
One of the things Mike and I have been talking about to do on the network over the last 2 weeks is a debate.
Okay.
Is a debate. Now, we have done plenty of debates on this network, but we've done them as a group, whether it's been Mike and me defending the Mets or whatnot. But when it comes to this group, we have a more diversity in football than any other sport. So Mike and I have an idea of having a debate.
Wait, I had an idea.
I
Yeah, it was
know,
one of the
right?
few good ones you come up with. Had an idea to do a debate. We will have a moderator. They will come up with questions, and you will have to defend Eve. You will have to defend your team. So it could be Dan having to defend the Jets against Bills Giants. It could be Patchy's Packers versus my Cowboys. It could be Mike's Dolphins versus anyone who's left.
Nathan's Buffalo Bills.
Bases Buffalo Bills. The Moser
Hey.
Rifkin Showdown. We are having a Moser Rifkin Showdown for hockey this year. We will be having a hockey Jeopardy for Moser versus Rifkin that Patch and I will be creating.
Shut up, Patch.
Yes, our President Patchy, the one-eyed miracle, is not here today. He is currently slaying the seafood gods to get ready for his trip coming up. And the Patchman will be returning to us after that, like he has much of a choice.
Wait, is he
1-1
going
in
away? Is he
Philadelphia.
leaving this week or?
Next week.
Okay.
Next
So he doesn't
week,
have time
everybody
for
be
us
sure
anymore.
to text them every 3 or 4 minutes just to let them know we miss them.
We miss you. We miss you. We miss you.
Yep.
Yeah, that's gonna get us a restraining order, isn't it?
Bill,
I'm
do you not
not
take this
saying
offensively? If
nothing.
you
We're
have
live.
not
I'm going to say
received
nothing.
one from anyone from this network yet, it's never going to happen.
Thank you.
No offense, Miss Black. We do love him.
If Sam's watching, I'm not crazy. I promise.
Has your mom had you tested, though?
I think she
Like
has.
Sheldon.
Yes.
Like Sheldon.
No, I know. I know the. I'm not crazy. My mother had me tested.
Exactly.
Well, all right. 2-1.
You got a barn burner in Cleveland right now. No score between the Tigers and the Guardians. Because Scooble's pitching.
Scooble. As we've talked about him at the beginning of the season and mid-season, Tyreek Scooble going to be facing off against Max Fried. I'm sorry, Tyreek Scooble is going to be leading the All-Star game next week against Max. With following with Max Fried behind him. Could you imagine that as your 1-2 pitching matchup in an actual season right now?
Yeah, well, if the
Fried and Scooble, 1 and 2.
Tigers had signed Fried to be the number 2, that'd be pretty gnarly. But the Tigers are running away with that AL Central anyway.
You know what stinks about this whole Scooble situation? The Tigers have him for a while.
Now you got to pay him.
Yeah, pay him. Like how much longer they keep him?
Well, he's under control.
I will look that up.
2027. I think he only has a year or two left. I don't think it's much more than that.
Something like that. Because he's been with them for a while now, right? So
I mean, he fly ball caught.
you're good. Yeah, you're good. I'm about to say you're,
I was so lost for a second because I'm looking up the school.
like you're good. Yeah.
Well, we go to the bottom of the fifth.
Judgy.
That's only down 5.
Yeah, that's
Not
not-
over.
So-
that's nothing. I'm telling you,
School is arbitration eligible after this year at 26. He's a free agent after 27.
So
Okay, so 2 more years.
So what's probably going to happen is they're going to buy out that year, right? That they have to. They're not.
Mhm.
I'd be
They're not
shocked.
going to let him go near it, right?
They are not going to let him hit the market.
I'll be pretty shocked if they give him an arbitration year.
Yeah, they gave him 10 million this year to avoid arbitration.
Yeah,
They'll buy out next
He did
year.
even better this year.
I would buy out and extend him.
Oh, 100%.
If you're Detroit, absolutely. That's your no-brainer move right now.
I mean, if you're talking about investing in the future, because this Tigers team is very good, and with the Baez contract that you have, there should be no excuse. I'm sorry. Like, get it done, lock up your number one guy, and ensure a good Tigers team for the future.
I think, the Tigers we've not only just talked about them for the last couple of years, they're pretty much one of the biggest futures next to the Mets and whatnot for youth.
Yeah.
In a system.
Well, they have the youth, and with Gleyber Torres, they have the experience too. So this is a very good team that they have over there, and Tigers fans should be very excited. I'm happy for Tigers fans because they're a good baseball town. They're a great sports city, and they've gone through a lot with this team.
Glaber's had a good year. How about the years? Torkelson is finally coming through. Riley Green's had a phenomenal year.
I mean, unless Michigan gets wiped off the state, off the states, I don't think we're going to have to worry about Detroit missing the playoffs.
Yeah,
You don't think so?
No,
they'll get the Central.
Can't trust anyone else in that division. Cleveland is falling off. Minnesota.
Cleveland still has a good enough team, but I agree.
They've got the worst record in baseball since June 3rd.
Yeah, the issue is the American League East because you have the Yankees and you have the Rays. They're like tied, so that's leaving what, like one spot.
Yankees and Rays are tied. That is correct, and you got Toronto breathing right on their necks.
No, Toronto's in front.
Toronto's in front by 3 games.
Toronto's in front. And by the way, the Red Sox are only 3.5 behind the Yankees and Rays.
I have not looked at the AL setup in a while, so.
And then the Orioles are only 11 back.
So that wild card is tight.
The wild card right now, Yankees, Rays are the top 2, then the Mariners, who, by the way, will play
Boston and Texas
week. The Red Sox are 2.5, Rangers 3, Angels 3.5, Twins 4, Royals 5.5, Cleveland 6, Baltimore 7, the 8,
and forget about the last 2.
And then the White Sox are 17.
Yeah. By the way, let's go.
Surprising the White Sox have won.
By the way, condolences to the White Sox organization and family.
Yes, how about
Bobby
that?
Jenks.
I can't believe that happened. Yes, I didn't know he was sick.
Yeah.
He was in Portugal.
He lives in Portugal, yeah.
Bobby Jenks, right?
Bobby
Yes.
Jenks.
Yeah.
Couldn't believe that. He was money.
World Series
by
pitcher.
The way, the real very sad part, the White Sox were going to honor that team next week.
Yeah.
Oh, that I did not know.
Yeah. I just read that and I was like, Damn.
I had saw the flash come across the last night, I think. Yeah, last night that he had passed away.
All right.
And it
Mets
was
were-
just a
44
big
due to
shock.
stomach cancer.
yeah, too young of an age, and you
Yeah.
know, oh man, that's tough. He was money in the 2000s.
He was so good.
He was very good. Mets have 2 runners on all of a sudden.
Yes, they do. Freed
pluck
starting to
away.
lose some gas.
Well, no offense to Max Fried, he is up to 80 pitches, and this is the second most amount of pitches he's thrown in a short period of time, meaning in 5 innings. Max Fried, like anybody else in major league pitching, anybody's numbers get up, they're going to lose a little bit off their pitch.
Yeah. Well,
But with the Yankees being up 5 runs, the Yankees should feel comfortable going to their bullpen. But as of recently, as Dan and Bill has eloquently said today, they face the same problem the Mets have had, is that their bullpen has let them down gratefully.
Yeah, and Luke Weaver's been a big part of that.
yeah,
He was at one point the only guy
he's
you
hurt.
trusted.
He is hurt, Luke Weaver. They're the Yankees, Boone, all that. They're not going to say that. Luke Weaver ain't right because healthy Luke Weaver is unbelievable. Hurt Luke Weaver fucking sucks. 0-2 on Marte.
I'll say this: Max Fried's putting in the effort though for one of my fantasy teams.
I also have him on a fantasy team. Actually, I have him on one of my dynasty teams. I have 3. Very hard to
Him and
keep up.
Wheeler
these days.
rolling today. And I think Kevin
Dynasty
Goss
is hard.
pitching for Toronto.
Bitch. Okay. The count is 1-2. 1 outs. Runners on first and second.
Damn it. It was just late on that. That would have been down the line.
That's gone.
Look at that. Look at this career by Fried.
Why the Braves let him go, we'll never know.
That's
I
gone.
don't get it, to be honest. I mean, look, it benefits Yankees, but I mean, he gets the money in his pocket. But why you let a pitcher of that caliber ever walk away, I don't get it.
Well, look, I mean, he has bigger aspirations, right?
Well, you couldn't foretell what was the Braves were going to be this year. You couldn't predict where they were going to be.
They would have been much better with Fried. Like, come on.
Yes,
Let's be-
yes.
Well, let's be real honest. We didn't know what to expect of Chris Sale because Chris Sale had a great year last year. But
True.
prior to that, the injuries have been piling up. Strider
Fried
was
now at
coming off
83
Tommy
pitches.
John.
I think the Braves also didn't expect him to be as healthy as he has been in the first half.
It's a very fair point, also.
So
Over his head. Over his head. It's over his head. Oh, it's a terrible read by Jeff McNeil.
My God.
I score on that.
Oh my God.
Bill, no offense, you score from first on that.
Oh,
Oh.
I look,
But-
I understand you got to play the ball because it's a fly ball.
No,
He
that
should have
was
been
a-
halfway
back.
to
You gotta
third
be
and jogged
halfway.
in.
He thought
Yeah,
that
he
was
should have been halfway to third and jogged in.
he thought that was a. Why would you think that's a fly out? Like, what are
That
you
hit
doing?
reminds me of the hit David Wright got off of Mariano Rivera to win that
I'm
year.
sorry. Like Grisham.
Hustle.
Grisham didn't even go back on the
No
first
effort.
stab.
No effort. And
Grisham.
now we have
Again.
loaded. Good job, Grish.
Yeah,
He still looks like a porn star.
he kind of does.
like Grisham didn't even go back on the first when he first read it. Like, why is McNeil holding? Like that doesn't.
Well, that's what I do. You have to be pretty much at third base there, especially with his body going away
You should
from
be-
the base.
you should be.
yeah, because you're going to go back and you're going to get back.
like you should be at least halfway.
You got to score there.
Should be
I'll-
5-1.
I'm sorry.
By the
like,
way, and Jeff
Yeah.
McNeil's had a great series, especially what he did Friday. He's got to score there.
that's brutal. Okay, I mean Yankees catch a break, but they have Lindor up. So like I don't know. Like this is
He could break open this game soon, can he?
so Bill. I'm kind of with you, Bill. Like that was not good. That was not good.
Okay.
Francisco, I'll take a sack fly.
I'll take anything that puts a run on the board. I just don't want to be a goose egg against the
Well,
Yankees.
he should. First of all, if I'm Lindor, I would get any.
Base hit up the middle.
Go.
Middle.
There you go.
2-run score.
There's 2.
5-2. The Metsies are on the board.
RBI
Yeah,
single by
Yankee.
Lindor.
Pull it
Yankees.
up the middle. All 3 of us come in at once. Great.
There you go.
Francisco Lindor gets the Mets on the board with a 2-run single in the bottom of the 5th against Matt Fried at 86 pitchers. This pitches will most likely be lit for Max
Yeah,
Fried.
yeah. If he gets through this inning, he's not going out for the 6th. That's
Yeah, he's not coming back.
Yeah.
I'd be very surprised if he finishes this inning.
I think a lot's going to be determined by the guy hitting now.
You're up 3 runs. I
Yeah.
say you put him on
Yeah.
and load the bases. Personally,
No.
No, you got him lefty. I think you stick
that?
this out.
Is that giant lasagna, Bill?
Loizaga, I think so.
A lasagna's up in the bullpen?
I'm like, where does Dan see a lasagna in Bill's picture?
They might be watching the
That's
Yankee broadcast.
We'll watch it.
That's why I was
watching
like,
the
what the
Yankees
hell are you
broadcast.
talking about?
I'm
Oh,
watching
there
the
he
Yankees
is.
broadcast.
Lasagna's up. Garfield's happy.
Well, now they just put it on our screen. Now it makes sense. I'm like, what the hell is he talking about?
The happiest creature in the world is Garfield because he loves lasagna.
He loves Mondays. He hates Mondays.
Does anyone actually like Mondays?
Well, there's a whole
Shout
song
out the
called
Boomtown
I Don't Like Mondays.
Don't play ball. Come on, man.
And no, that song was not written by Garfield.
Oh,
It's just another manic Monday.
it is Sunday.
Oh my God! I'm 1 second behind.
That was a hanger.
Look, I could never hit a curveball. I'll be there. I would have swung over that. But for someone that's a professional as Juan Soto,
he went on
that
top
should
of
have been
that.
gone. Yeah. Should have crushed that. Tried to get him down
I'll
low.
give them this. The Mets are really working these counts.
They have to now.
And here comes the pitch. And that's ball 2. The count is 2-2. Oh yeah, shout out to my
Soto
friend
0-2
JT
on
Mahoney.
the
He's
day.
actually at the game.
Hi, JT. Fried is
Yeah.
really getting fried out there. He's baking in that sun.
Well, it works because there's a guy named Bacon behind the plate, so he must be sizzling.
Is his name Sir Francis?
No.
Damn.
At least Soto's working him.
Yep.
Soto, the player of the month in the National League in June.
With good reason for. That month reminded me one of the months he had in Washington.
Ooh. No time.
The summer.
Aaron Boone is hiding because he doesn't want to see what's going to happen. On Soto,
Nice pitch.
looking determined. Oh, got him with the sinker. Slider.
Go.
And Soto goes down on strikes.
Fucking
That
go.
nice slider.
Oh man.
Not that you guys haven't heard from him. Did anybody heard from Noah?
Yeah, we did a wishbone earlier this week.
Yeah, he did do
Okay,
it.
We
he's
did do
okay
a
after what's
wishbone.
going on in Texas.
Should be up shortly.
I know there was a
Talk
lot
about,
of bad weather in Texas.
America,
All right, Pete.
the Pittsburgh Steelers,
Okay.
and we did we did a tier rankings list.
Oh, speaking of tier rankings, this month I will be given my traditional preseason new hire NFL head coach tier rank. Coming this month.
Okay.
All right.
Gotta be careful with a lot.
Football starting very soon.
9 Sundays away.
9 Sundays away until football.
Crazy.
9 Sundays away till the Cowboys disappoint Mark again.
No, come on, baby.
9 Sundays away until Mike eats mahi mahi.
Yeah,
Dan
I
can
don't
just
have
go
a
to
high
the-
I don't have a high expectation this year.
Dan can just go over to Reagan if he wants to see the Jets on the runway.
I like that one. Just another
And Bill, you're in the wrong. Bill, your team doesn't even play in the state they're listed for. So
Well, neither do the Jets. Neither do the Jets.
they but should be the New Jersey Jets. No offense to the state of New York, but
Well, they're representing the city, so it's a market thing.
ugh.
As I like to remind people that it's the region that they're representing, not the state.
I think it's the only team in all of sports that actually doesn't play in its state it's named for.
Excuse me, the Commanders. Excuse me. And don't give me this bull crap about, well, DC's not a state, it doesn't count. No, they don't play in Washington, DC. They're
They
trying
play
to
in
play
Landover, Maryland. We
They're
know.
trying to play in Washington, DC. We don't know if that's going to get passed. So until then, they are the Maryland Commanders.
Yeah, that didn't get there.
Pete flies out to right field. End of the fifth inning, 5-2 Yankees.
I think Freed's done. Good job getting out of that.
96 pitch.
They got out of a jam right there.
Oh, and by
no.
By the way, shout out Pete, who's going to break the medal.
And Pete
I don't
is
know if you
also
heard,
Miss Black's favorite player. So yeah.
I don't know if you heard this news, but there's a great chance that both the Royals and the Chiefs could move to the other side of the region and go to Kansas.
Wait, they're gonna leave. They're gonna leave Missouri.
Yeah,
they're gonna leave Missouri.
Looking at it,
Sports state. Man, these states in the central part of the United States can't keep a professional sports team if they try.
Well, this all has to do with their new stadium talks.
I know.
These, I'm not going to get into a whole thing about it, but wanting the taxpayers to pay for these damn stadiums when the billionaire owners own them.
To me, look, I understand that the state has to put up money for the team to keep its name rights, so to speak, and whatnot. But give me a break.
I mean,
the taxpayers should not have to.
By the way, these
bill
people
to
make
see
it
their team.
impossible
here's
to go
my,
to games at times.
here's my thing. And look, I'm with you. The taxpayer dollars on these stadiums, like the one that my parents have to pay for in Buffalo, and they don't live in, they're not even close to Buffalo.
Same.
Rifkin has to pay for that. Mark, you have to pay for that.
I better get like a urinal
pay for that.
in that one, Kathy Hochul.
Like, fuck out of here. Bill has to pay for that.
Tax.
Like, you guys have paid for a stadium in Buffalo, and you're flipping pretty much the entire bill. No pun intended. But like, the my point is that yes, taxpayers should not have to flip the bill. However, it's not like the billionaires when you're talking about them being able to afford a whole stadium. You don't know how much actual money they have because net worth it's all of your assets, including your money. So that's my only little side part of that.
No, because like with Vegas,
Freed's done.
Vegas last year with what's his face Fisher, and they wanted like the Nevada to take like money out of the school system or something.
Yeah, they wanted to take it out of the teachers' fund or something.
Yeah, and I said this last year because Mark and you and I did the batter up together when we did this. Let Fisher and his billionaire buddies flip the bill for that.
Right. It should not, with ticket prices the way they are, parking, venue, all those things. The fans should not be let me rephrase that. The taxpayers, because it's not only just the fans, the taxpayers should not be responsible for footing the bill in any part or any sport. The taxpayers should not be responsible for footing the bill.
100%. We got 2-2 on DJ LeMahieu in the top of the sixth.
The bullpen.
Brandon Waddell still in there. He struck him out high heat.
Bill, I'm looking at the bullpen budget for the Yankees on the Nest broadcast.
Oh, I'm seeing it now.
Who do you go to? They all
And Mark, it is still 1-1 in Philadelphia.
You go
Reds and
to.
Phillies.
I
Top
think the
7.
ones you are thinking about right now is Loizaga.
Probably gonna have to go him.
You're gonna have to go either Loizaga or Hartlieb, or yeah, I kind of paused this so I can read it because I'm such a dork. Um, maybe Hamilton. Maybe
No,
Hamilton.
Hamilton's busy. He's in a play on Broadway.
Funny.
And he's not gonna throw away his shot, Mike.
I'm not touching Devin Williams until he gets it right.
I don't think he hasn't pitched in the series. So.
No, I would go either
He had to.
Loizaga.
Okay, I got thrown off on a replay just now, so don't mind me.
I would go either Loizaga, Hartlib.
Hartley, I believe, pitched for the Mets at one point.
I'm going Johnny Lasagna.
Yeah, I would go Loizaga, Hartlieb. I would go maybe either Hamilton or Hill because they only pitched 10 to 12 pitches yesterday, on Friday. So, but no, I would go Loizaga, Hamilton, Hartlieb, or Hill. Those are my thoughts. Yes, I actually have thoughts on things.
Are they your incredible thoughts?
Thank you. Are they my incredible thoughts?
You're
Depends on what
welcome.
day it is.
Austin Wells out of it.
I don't know if that was a compliment or a question, but okay. Austin Wells grounds out, 2 outs in the top of the 6th. It's funny, as Mike made the comment earlier, the Mets are literally signing people off the street to come pitch innings. I haven't heard of half of these guys. It's pretty much like Major League. Who are these fucking guys?
Great film. Whenever Major League is on, I turn it on.
Yes, in case you people don't know, this is now a motivationally explicit show, as cursing is keeping us smiling.
Oh boy.
Do you want to know what the funny thing is?
What?
These guys who signed to pitch one day made more money signing for one day than the 4 of us make in a year.
Wow.
Here's something for you. 80% of Yankee players to appear in a game this season were not alive the last time the Yankees had a losing season, which was 90. That's insane.
Wait a second. 92 is the last losing season? Okay. I mean, I'm old, so we know that. I was 14.
I wasn't born.
Neither was myself nor Dan.
Are you guys even alive?
No, I was born in 94.
It's a year early for me.
my entire life, including my baseball life, the Yankees have always had a winning record. So,
Wow. We got to take these boys down a peg a little bit. Show them what it feels like.
You know what? You know what? Look, I always want to win, but I think a losing season for the Yankees will massively humble us.
But you know what it is, though, Reg? You know what it is? If we're talking about, like, if it would have an effect on Aaron Boone or anything, because I wonder, will Steinbrenner and Cashman think, like, okay, he had one very bad season, we could just...
No. If the Yankees wanted to fire Boone, they would have done it already. Instead, they gave him a contract extension.
Well, this past year, I can understand, because you just can't fire someone after they took you to the World Series.
Why not? Not trying to start an argument, but it's a good conversation.
Well, I'm just saying, like, they had a losing season, or they had one of the worst seasons in 2023. It wasn't a losing season, but they had one of the worst seasons since the early 90s. And they didn't fire the manager. That was their time to fire him.
But I think by this point, though, you've got to realize this owner ain't his daddy.
Well, that's another thing. I was talking to my brother about it. He doesn't care about winning. He
cares about what goes in his pocket.
Exactly. Like he cares.
Shout out Dan's brother.
He cares about the fact that that there's butts in the chairs over at the stadium.
Yeah.
and that you can get your $10 souvenir Pepsis and your $1 trillion beers, and it's a joke. It's a joke.
Okay. You know what? I'm gonna go back on my word. This manager's a moron. Freed at
Which one?
97, the Yankee one.
Whoa, Freed's still out there?
He had Freed face Nimmo, and is
And
now
he
he's
just
gonna.
hit him. Just hit him.
He only wanted him for Nimmo.
Yep,
I think
that was it for the lefty on lefty matchup.
Oh, that
Now
backfired.
Loizica in the position with a runner
Right?
on.
he's checking his hand.
He's at
Check his hand.
97 pitches. I don't.
I don't think he's hurt. I think he's tired. It's 93 degrees there today, and add the humidity into
Oh,
it. You're looking at
humid, yeah.
96.
And it's hotter on the field.
Dang.
Right.
Oh, wait, no,
So
yeah.
Freed
96
after
pitches.
5+.
And again,
So
just
five-
like he did in the first start against the Mets, another brilliant start, just like he's produced all season
All
for
right,
Max
so-
Fried.
By the
so-
way, if you take out that 5th inning, he was
Yes.
Yeah,
Nah.
Freed-
Aside from the 5th inning, he pitched great.
Yeah, so
Right, he
Freed
was great.
goes 5+,
6 hits, 2 runs, a walk, and 5 strikeouts.
5 strikeouts. He could win. He can win it. He can't lose it. So that's
Correct.
ERA for the season
okay.
2.1.
Right. He's only accounted for Nimmo right now. That's it.
Right. So if
Loizica
Nimmo
would take
scores,
anybody else on.
that'll up his ERA.
It'll up his ERA, but he cannot be
he
taken on
Can't
for the
lose
loss.
this game.
can't lose it. He can win it though.
Which helps Fried's record in any stance. So
Yeah, but he can win this game, which is worst case scenario. He gets no decision.
All right, so Jonathan Loizica is coming in.
Bill, I'm telling you this: if he winds up with a no decision today,
That'd be brutal.
that would be the cherry on top of a brutal week for the New York Yankees.
Oh, it would be. It would. Fried pitched a good game. He pitched a very good game today.
if Fried gets a no decision, I'll set up a pay-per-view event with a tortilla slap from Miss Black.
By the way, while we got a moment, I know we're not a music network, but just shout out Black Sabbath. Had their final concert yesterday with Ozzy Osbourne in England.
To the man who ate a flying rodent. His head, at least.
Oh,
That is a true story for anybody who doesn't
what a
know.
legend, Ozzy Osbourne.
Absolutely.
If you could
Sonya's
overdose on mushrooms and still have a healthy life.
Or you can get bitten by a bat.
Oh,
He bit
how
a
about
bat's
the
head off.
counter move?
He didn't get bit by a bat. He bit a bat's head off.
And remember, because there's a story. He goes, "Oh, I thought it was like one of those toys you get at like a Halloween store," but then it was moving. He's like, "Oh
Correct.
crap!" And then he had to get rabies
Yep.
shots.
Yep.
Wow, what a
Oof.
counter move. See if it works.
It's the right move.
I agree. I thought it'd be Beatty, but you know what? I'll give you
You're
right.
down 3 runs.
And a guy who's gonna hit a guy who can hit the fastball.
Is Maurizio. The problem is Mike made a very good point the other day is Maurizio is starting to slowly turn into a pull hitter.
He's dead red fastball.
Yep.
I think if you're
Loizica coming out throwing gas, but has been low.
if
on
you're
first.
Loizica, if you could throw a slider, I think you could get him to roll it over.
Ah,
Oh, got to throw.
Told you. Pull Maurizio.
Oh, well, listen, he got it to hit. He got him to hit it on the ground. Just LeMahieu's not there.
That ball was scorched off the bat, though.
yeah, Jack.
I gotta be
That was-
honest with you. I don't have my volume on just based on us talking. So
Yeah,
I don't
Jazz,
know the
Jazz
exit.
fields that cleanly.
All right, first and second. No.
There's one thing that's undoubtable.
Oh, okay.
Is Aaron Judge's arm. You're not going first or third against Judge.
And in that spot, I don't want Nimmo to even try it down 3 runs.
Now you have Brett Beatty coming in.
Didn't share Brett, baby.
Who's be? Oh, he's hitting for Taylor.
Yep.
I don't love this one.
Okay.
I'll explain why in a second.
All right. Well, let's
Because
see.
now your question
Let's
is
see-
who's
let's see.
placed.
Oh, that's gonna drop. That's a base hit.
Yes, it is.
I'm about to say maybe Mendoza knows something. There you go.
The reason why I said I didn't like it is Tyrone Taylor's your best defensive outfielder, and you've already got Nimmo DHing and Marte in left. So now your outfield defense is going to take a little bit of a plummet by putting McNeil.
And the
in
Mets
there.
have loaded the bases for the second time in as many innings.
Oh boy.
Bill
Hit
Murphy
by
is
Baty.
starting to get those little balls of sweat on the forehead. They're starting to
Why-
form. You can see those little balls
why-
of sweat on Bill's forehead.
Why didn't Loizaga just start a clean inning? I don't.
Because Aaron Boone's a moron?
Still beat Beatty on that pitch, but Beatty just got the bat on it. Beatty was late on that.
Leiter Jr. is up in the pen.
That's a mistake.
Big
And look at his
mistake.
numbers. Mike Leiter Jr.'s numbers have been horrible.
His
Are they
other
gonna-
I guess
Al
he's the
was a
most
great pitcher.
I guess he's the most rested who's left though. I did not see who's left in the Yankees bullpen. Look at that. I mean, no offense to my
Wouldn't
friends.
Williams be the most
But
rested. He hasn't pitched in this series.
10:33 in the last five games. The only reason why they'll go to a Leiter before they would go to Williams is Williams has only got enough stamina to go a half inning. They need Leiter to go 2 innings maybe. Devin Williams is your
Also-
8 inning, 9th inning specialist. So
If Beatty didn't hit that ball hard, I don't love that mound visit because it's not like this Loizaga got crushed on either of those.
with three innings left, there's no sacrifice on
The
here.
grounder and the looper.
Take the first pitch.
Yeah. So those things are going to happen. And so
And here comes the pitch.
All one.
1-0 to Jeff McNeil. Bases loaded. Nobody out.
Swirl.
6 Yankees up 5-2.
Jeff.
Oh, he threw it away.
Oh, he boots it. 1 run in.
Whoa.
What are we doing?
What the hell?
You know what? Cue up
3.
my guys Key and Peel. You done messed up, Ron.
They should have shot
What
A-Rod.
the hell?
What are we doing?
See whose fault this is. Loizaga going to miss this at first. Then goes
It's
to-
Loizaga's fault. He should have
Oh
made
yeah,
this
he missed
play.
it twice.
Yep.
Missed it on the ground.
And then missed it there
That's
as
a
well.
good throw by Goldschmidt. He's got to catch that ball.
You have to grab that ball and you have to catch this here.
Damn it.
And that's a double play ball.
Probably. Yep.
Goldschmidt, nice scoop.
1.
But another run scores. It's 5.
Another run scores. It's now 5-4.
Well, Aiden Senger, thank you for your service, pal.
And guess who is coming back up next week?
I would think he's coming up after the break, but
Next week. He comes back up next week.
okay.
The amount of times that Paul Goldschmidt.
Oh, that is a great scoop by Goldschmidt.
The amount
Yeah, that
of
is a good
times-
scoop.
That is a great scoop.
The amount of times he's had to save all these horrible, horrible throws by the Yankee infield. It's insane.
That's the style of a true major league pitcher. When you can get down and scoop a ball, a major league first baseman, you can get down and scoop a ball out like that. That's how you play a ball.
I hate Boone. I hate Boone.
Oh, I do too.
The 5-0 lead, whatever. It is what it is.
Outside.
Now we gotta protect the tying run with 2 outs.
Starling Marte.
Starling Marte,
He's had a good day with the bat.
3 for 3.
I'm so annoyed. So annoyed. You have no idea.
By the way, on other Met injury news, Jesse Winker homered in a rehab game from Syracuse.
Just saw that.
Back up Tuesday.
Yep.
And the Mets go
The
to
Mets
Baltimore.
are getting a lot of help back
On the bullpen.
in the right places. but they still need pitching. They
Yeah.
need that pitching help in Senga and Minea. Marte.
Like the BG staying alive.
Yep. Foul tip there. Marte showing signs of old here at batting 273 with 4 home runs.
And here comes
By the way,
pitch
he's
from
played pretty
Wanazaga.
well in left field too.
Let's hope to see if he's doing much better and they can get him in every day, considering we're paying him $20 million a year.
To right field. Oh yeah, the guy who's like 9 feet tall is able to catch it.
I was about to say, he didn't drop it this time.
He's not in center field and the lights aren't on. The lights get
Let me tell you,
Oh,
I remember watching
And
that
Judge
play.
makes a catch. We go into the 7th, but it is
damage
We got
has been
ourselves
done.
a barn burn.
hold on a second. Did Loizaga just have a massive big ass celebration after that catch?
He does not afford. He cannot do
what are
that.
what are you doing? Did you see that?
You just gave up 2 runs.
No, you shouldn't be. Yeah, fuck yeah. You should be like pissed.
Yeah, you gave
Kind of
up
looked
2
like the
wicked
flaming
runs.
homer.
This inning was brought to you by the genius management of Aaron Boone.
Hi, we are the genius management at Aaron Boone Incorporated, and we approve this message.
I'll be right back, fellas. Okay.
You got to get that scrolling thing going across fire and air and boom. Just leave it there. Get the old Yule log going. Back in the dump trucks. Back it up. Let me tell you, every fan's friend, Randy Quaid in Major League 2.
Oh, the ending when Charlie Sheen sells him.
Blow it out your ass. blow it out your ass, largemouth. That's what the wild thing in Major League 2 says. Kind of wonder what would have been more in Major League 1. It would have been definitely more prolific. However, the line from Major League 1 isn't blow it out your ass ump, isn't he's getting to rocket up his ass to catch one. No, it's really, really more simple than that. It's I hate this fucking song. That one
Not this
look
song
from
again.
her. And then the second one, to keep it more PG-13. Not this song again. No, go for the gold.
Mets are making a pitching change too. Oscar Brazoban comes in.
41.1 innings, 365 ERA, but has had 24 scoreless outings and 36 appearances. By the way, you all know I can actually read.
He didn't even have to put the glasses on.
No, but I can see the screen. See what happens when we get together as a group. We have fun.
Oh, dear God.
How did the ball get all the way back out? Brazoban has been a nice surprise this season, if anything.
And then he got caught in that little rut, but I go back to what I said earlier. It's the starters not going deep enough.
Agreed.
And you just can't keep having these guys throw day in, day out.
One thing you notice from the Yankees that I haven't really noticed until now, not a lot of them use that torpedo bat.
You know what else you notice about the Yankees? They don't have the names on the back of their jerseys.
Still one of the only teams that doesn't do it.
The only team, because the Red Sox do it at least on their road uniforms.
I was about to say only on the road. They
Yeah,
wear them
they
at
don't
home.
do it at home. Goldschmidt with a base.
That's what you call a CNI base hit, everybody.
If Lindor's not over, that's a 6-3 in your scorecard.
Yeah.
Well, I think Lindor thought it was coming straight to him, but it bounced off that mound.
Yeah.
Look at the quiet years Trent Grisham is having.
Yeah,
That's just unlucky.
Aye.
Good.
Go get off your ass.
Go!
First and third, nobody out.
Tony.
This ball just hits the base.
Low poke.
Oh no, it rode
Ball
up
on its ass.
Why the fuck are you not at second?
because it didn't go that far away.
That ball skipped off a pebble.
You got to play.
TC, no, it's because these people are slow as fuck. And what are you watching? Run!
I am watching.
This is the reason why I wanted Dan on this episode. I want to see true Dan
No, yeah, no, he's got to hustle.
compared to fake Dan. I mean,
He stopped. What are you stopping for?
The guy's down on his ass. Take the
I want to make
base.
sure a car wasn't coming.
All right, Judge is
the
on.
Jolly Green Giant is at bat.
Yeah, this is not who.
Oh, wow.
Swing.
I don't know what Aaron Judge thought was coming.
Swing.
She was going to
Don't
see
throw
it.
him another one. Don't do it.
My God.
Okay.
I didn't realize that Aaron Judge was down to 360. Last I saw, he was at like 387.
All right, now. I don't know why we're showing a shirtless kid, but
If Goldschmidt didn't stop looking into the heavens, he would have been home right now.
I'm throwing him a slider off the plate. Don't even come with anything else.
That kid is going to be in a lot of pain when he gets home. Sunburn City.
You,
Oh, I know what that's like.
I would double up and throw him another slider off the plate. I don't think
Come
I'd
up and
throw
in.
him another strike.
I come up and in on him and everything I have. That's the last thing he'd be expecting.
I am not throwing.
He's looking for a changeup or a slider. Go up and in and challenge him. You're a 1-2 count.
No, you double up and then you could come up and in.
No, now I would expect him to come in and in.
Wait, what are you afraid of? Just throw at him, man.
Thank you.
Like, come on now.
Counts 2 and 2.
He's gonna beat you. Look, he's gonna beat you. He's gonna beat you.
Like,
But
I'm
I'm sorry.
You can't be the P word with Aaron Judge. Like, you can't. Like,
If you're gonna pitch around him, then like Mike said, Barry Bonds him.
Jesus Christ, go Buck Showalter on him. Load the bases and
Or just hit him.
Fuck it.
No. I'm sorry. Anytime Judge gets a piece of a ball, you have to figure it's going 400 feet.
Yeah. Well, sometimes we're not that lucky.
No.
That's why I said you have to think.
Sometimes we're not that lucky.
It goes 399 instead of 400. You get the John Sterling call.
It still goes out of the ballpark.
Oh, my.
Yeah, that went out of the
Oh
ballpark.
my goodness gracious.
Wow.
Oh,
Talk about dying.
damn.
I would guarantee
That was a bomb, but it's okay. It's okay though, but that was a bomb. I thought that was
I thought that was gone. I said,
I thought that was in the upper deck.
Sack fly by Judge. The Yankees take
Woo!
a lead.
It was
He's
off
on-
the
The
end of the-
wind was
Let's-
blowing in.
Let's
Why
be
not
real
give you
honest.
that?
That's
You
about
know-
6 feet away from being.
Yeah, he knew it was off the end of the bat. Judge knew it was not going to be out when he hit the bat.
Tom Cedar farted that thing back in.
His reaction says it all. Like he knew it was not gone. But man,
I thought it was.
alive.
I thought it was.
Ooh, but it gets
was
the
like-
job done. Billy Boy gets the job done.
Judge the job done. Yankees up 6-4.
Wow.
It looked
I wish I could make $27 million in bat 231.
Yeah, the sack fly
Yankee Stadium.
underrated.
Well, sack flies I always like.
Yeah,
It's a
I'll
run.
always take the sack fly.
Stanton.
Brazoban
I've run.
play ball here.
I've run so far away.
Come on,
And
I
I
can see
ran. I ran all night and day.
Couldn't get away.
upstairs.
Nope. I ran all the way home
Counts
to
2-1.
say I'm sorry.
All right, Toronto's retaking the lead
Strike.
up 3-2 on the Angels.
No,
Reds and Phillies are still 1-1.
Fuck.
Angels, come on.
And America's team, the Tampa Bay Rays, are up 2-1 on the Twins.
No, they're not.
They are.
I was about to
I'm
say,
sorry, I got
I
him
don't think
up
he's
here.
lying.
And the Rockies are up 2-0 on the White Sox.
Come on, Angels. Come on.
He strikes him out swinging.
Oh,
Almost.
that was a pretty good
What are you
pitch.
looking at? Lucky.
You got to come up and in on him here.
Oh,
Lock him up.
nice pitch.
Or go downtown with it.
Razabon for 3.
Speaking of 3-pointers, the New York Knicks have made some signings over the last few weeks. And Dan, we could be looking at a brand new finals team in New York.
Well, now that the East is wide open, yeah, we can.
No Tyrese Halliburton, no Jason Tatum. Jalen Brunson is going to run the East.
Yeah, man.
Bring in Damian Lillard.
And look, I feel bad.
I wish.
I do feel bad for Mike Brown. Mike Brown is a good coach. There's
Yeah.
there's no going around that. He's a good coach, and I'm glad that he's getting another shot at it. But the expectations are going to be massive because the Knicks made the conference final. And now with this wide open Eastern Conference all of a sudden, it's them, it's Cleveland
Yeah.
that are going to be contending for that Eastern Championship going into the NBA Finals. They have to win the finals.
I don't disagree with you. I think Towns has to lose 15 to 20 pounds and play more of a power forward now than anything.
So I'm not thrilled with Mike Brown. It's a mixed bag for me.
But is the Mike Brown thing more of you're still upset because of Tibbs?
Well, it's that, but it's also like I'm just questioning the move. Like, if you're gonna fire Tibbs, there has to be someone else out there besides Mike Brown that you can go after. Like, you had Mike Woodson available. I know he suffered in Vienna.
Excuse me.
Great. You had. I know he's been idle for a long time. He's been mostly focused on his broadcasting career. But Mark Jackson, I would have he helped build that Golden State dynasty. Like he was part of the reason why they're the champions that they became. Like I would take shots at those people. But I guess Mike Brown, it's not a terrible choice though. It's not a terrible choice. It's just not
Not who you want.
It's the expectations are too high for him.
Where are you on the subject of trading for Giannis?
I don't want any part of him.
Okay.
No.
Fair
I
enough.
think the Knicks stay the course.
Okay. That's fair.
Look, they signed Clarkson, so
They did. There's your bench depth.
like that's a huge signing. Gives you another guy that can score. What's with the fascination with the Knicks and the French players?
It's with the what?
The French players.
No idea. All right, Brosbon's got no 2 count on Anthony Volpe with first and second, 2 out, top 7.
Volpe
Yankees lead 6-4, and he struck him out.
another terrible at bat.
Taste the high heat.
One
Yeah,
of
Volpe's been
do
doing
it.
shit lately.
He was feeling like a moron.
But by the way, he also hit Aaron Judge with a ball yesterday. I don't know if you guys
Yeah,
caught
that was
or not.
embarrassing.
That should have gotten him DFA'd immediately. Trying to take out Aaron Judge.
Bro, fuck out of here. All right, we're middle of this. They're playing God Bless America.
Bad thing about that play was the fact that it came from his own team.
Right.
Is that Aaron Judge got
Volpe
clocked in his
cut.
face? Unbelievable. But if you've all noticed in the fact that, Bill has his own movie show, they are remaking The Naked Gun. And I almost was about to repull the Leslie Nielsen stunt of talking miles in the bathroom, but I did not think we would get good ratings on it, so we left that out for today.
By the way, Liam Neeson in that role?
It's going to be hysterical, and I can't wait.
Because he's Liam Neeson.
Dude, he's
I
only
just want to know God, I hope I don't get struck down for this. Who the OJ character is going to be.
You want me to look it up for you?
No. I'm waiting for the real trailer to drop. We've only had the teaser trailers. But what Comedy Central will be running, for anybody who wants to watch the original show, will be running reruns of the original show from its only 2-season run. So if you want to see the original episodes of Police God, tune into Comedy Central, who is not a sponsor.
Not sponsored.
Would
by
like
the way.
them to be. Would like them to be, but they are not a sponsor.
You
Oh,
know,
we would love if they
I'm
were.
looking forward to seeing the new Jurassic Park film
Yeah, I'm gonna be watching that on the
and the new
MetaQuest, baby.
Superman.
Ooh, I can't wait to
Okay.
see Super. I'm going probably Thursday night to see it.
No
I
spoilers.
understand today's movies and today's graphics make it the availability to be able to make multiple universes of certain characters. Christopher Reeve is Superman. Oh, fuck! Why is Babe Ruth getting screwed on my TV and wearing a nun's hat?
This is what we
I
call.
don't know what's going on in that house right now.
No, this is on SNY. I'm not kidding you.
Seriously?
I'm not kidding you. I was dead serious.
He was not lying.
And now we have the Met City Dancers doing Old Town Road or Cotton Eye Joe. It's one of the two.
Bring back Cotton Eye Joe.
Nah, Lazy Mary. Yeah, sing
Crazy
anything.
Mary.
Now that is a drunk Yankee fan. But that's also to show you why my kids are standing here laughing at all the people who are dancing. This is also to show you why it's such a good time in New York. As much as Yankee Mets fans hate each other, they all know it's for New York. That's the difference.
Well, you know what? I would actually argue. I don't think Yankee and Met fans hate each other.
They do,
Because-
but they can coexist if they had to.
Because, like, here's the thing. You know, I think every Yankee fan has a family member, a friend, or they know someone who is a Met fan, and vice versa. I think every Met fan has a family member, a friend, or whoever who's a Yankee fan.
Mark Leiter comes in to pitch the bottom of the seventh with the Yankees up 6-4.
Quickly
Lindor
falls
at the
into
bat.
that.
At bat.
But I'll just counter off Bill's point. I'll say this: I have Yankee fans in my life whom I like.
Sorry, Bill, you don't make that list
Relationships with
apparently.
them. But the people I cannot stand are the Yankee fans who will flaunt the 27 rings.
No, Mike, I am a diehard Yankee fan, and those fans annoy me.
Are you a diehard fan?
Am I a diehard fan of the movie Die Hard? Then it's good.
Not a Christmas movie. You're wrong.
It is a Christmas movie.
Okay, why are we having this debate in July?
I don't know.
This is
I just
Christmas
wanted
in
to set
July.
something up.
Oh, good point. So should I go get my Santa hat then?
No. I have to deal
Okay,
with enough of that at the end of the year as it is.
Anyway, what I was saying is, but no, I can't stand those fans, to be honest with you, Mike. And this is coming from a diehard Yankee fan. Reg, how do you feel about the Yankee fans who, and you like me are a big Yankee fan? How do you feel about those Yankee fans who go the 27 rings?
Well, it doesn't matter. The 27 rings don't matter when you're a terrible team.
And Lindor gets plunked on a 3-2 pitch. Tying run comes to the plate, leading off the bottom of the seventh.
Francisco Lindor gets on.
Got hit right right off the back of the shin guard.
Yeah, Bill, I'm with you. I'm not into the 27 rings and bragging about it because it doesn't matter if the Yankees are terrible.
The only one time I'll do it, Reg, is when Red Sox fans, when they bring up 2004, and even though that was a collapse, and this is kind of a weak comeback, when I say, at least it didn't take us 86 years to win a World Series.
Can I ask you guys a question here?
Absolutely.
Okay. You know the part of the lineup the Mets are at. They're at Lindor Soto.
Yes.
Tim Hill's warming up in the bullpen. Mark Leiter Jr.'s got to face 3 hitters. Why wouldn't you let Hill come in? Because you know Soto's coming up.
I don't think it matters. Tim Hill's not that good either.
No, but it just sets up the lefty, and I think that's a better match than Mark Leiter, who's not
No
like
offense to Al's son. He's just
Al's
not had.
nephew.
That's Al's nephew.
I realized I made that mistake when I said it. Jack Leiter's
Shout out
his
Al
son.
Leiter.
Jack Leiter's his son. I got him mixed up.
Did I ever tell you guys the story? I actually met Al Leiter like years ago.
Was this when he was doing games for the Yankees?
I don't remember. It was in 2014, so maybe.
Yes.
I was at my brother's baseball tournament, and I was on the line to the concession stand to get a snack, and he's standing in front of me.
Share that with everyone else.
What was that?
You get enough to share with everyone else. The hell, Bill.
So he's standing right in front of me, and the cashier of the concession stand goes, "Mr. Leiter," and he shakes his hand. And he's like, "I'm a big Yankee fan. Can I get a picture with you?" And then I'm mouthing to the cashier, "Guys, I think you want to know subtlety is not one of my qualities." I'm like, "Is that Al Leiter?" and then
Charlotte, can you get the box off the step? Sorry, I meant to pause that. Mute that.
and then Al Leiter turns around, and I'm like, "You're Al Leiter."
I would think he said, "Yes, I am."
And I'm wearing my Yankee shirt. He's like, "Hey, how you doing?"
Oh, that's a nice play by Bellinger.
And he gives me a fist bump.
No, wow.
Oh,
Cody Bellinger just saved Mark Leiter and Aaron Boone's head.
Wow.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, hold on.
They're in
Wow.
challenge.
That's a good challenge.
Double play.
They're in challenge. I knew it. I knew they were in challenge. Oh,
Wait, hold on.
Well, it's an
Hold on.
embarrassing double play. Let's
That's
say.
a catch.
and he's
I can't get the look.
Oh, that's a catch, in my opinion.
Catch.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, but the Mets are challenging, I think, the play at first
they're
base.
challenging the first base, which is close.
What a catch, too.
That's a
He's
great
lucky that
catch.
ball didn't.
That
go
is a
past
catch.
That is
That
a
is a
great
catch.
But
He's out.
watch the
him.
first.
I think
base
it's a
play.
double play.
I think he's out.
I think
Yeah.
it's a double play.
He's out.
Unless
He's out.
Goldschmidt came off the base, which I couldn't tell.
No, he did not come off the base.
No, because he caught it and he was still on.
He's out. It's a double
Can
play.
the Yes Network stop showing the play with Cody Bellinger and show the play at first base, please?
No, I agree.
What are we doing?
The
It's a
Bellinger
catch.
play is a catch. The Bellinger play is a catch, Reggie.
That's a catch.
Challenging first base.
It's supposed to be a light box. I guess not.
That's a catch.
I heard a life box.
We're not worried about the catch. It's a catch.
It's a catch by a lot. I mean,
Hold on.
wow. That's a lot closer than I thought it was. Now that I see it way up on the glove.
That slid into his glove.
It's a catch. And it's a double play.
Now, arguments say I think it's a catch too. But if they were to
That should be the
reverse
weighted
it,
ball.
what do they do then with Lindor? They just put him at second base?
No, they put him back at first.
No, because if it's not a catch, you can't put him back at first. I think that's a catch.
You're right.
I don't think you could overturn that.
But why are they challenging the catch? Why not challenge the first base play?
I don't know. I have no idea. Unless they're challenging both aspects of the play.
It's only 22.5.
So I've noticed when teams
It's
challenge
a
play on
catch
double,
and it's a double play. I don't know
Well,
what
boy,
the challenge
I don't
is.
understand what's going on.
it's going to stand.
It should stand.
And they should be showing the play at first base.
I want to see. I want to see the play at first base.
Yeah, show us
Yeah.
the play.
Yes,
at
it's the
first.
right call. It's a double play. It's the right call.
Cody Bellinger saved Aaron Boone's rear end.
That's
Okay.
the double play.
I think I
Not
maybe
once
got-
did yes showed the play at first base, which is outrageous.
Here's the play at first on SMY. He's out by about 4 or 5 steps.
Finally, they show it, and yes, he's clearly out. So
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
I think the angle on the catch where the Mets were challenging, because the glove turns over a little bit. Maybe they thought it got some grass.
I don't know, but if Cody Bellinger's glove is a millimeter more off the ground, that ball skips under his glove and goes to
Yeah.
the wall.
like that's a home run.
It's a great play by Lindor.
With Soto rounding the bases,
No,
I think it'd be a triple at the most.
Oh, now
I
you're
think it's a
finally
triple at
showing
the
the
most.
replays at first base.
It was a clear out at first.
Oh, yeah, he was out. He was out.
It was a clear out at first. It was just that catch.
by the way,
Is one of
it's
the-
not a bad
one of the
play by
best,
Lindor.
luckiest
He's
catches
halfway
I've
on
ever
Mike
seen.
McNeil earlier.
Mhm.
Yes,
It's the right call. It's just a great throw.
perfect throw.
They took too long looking at that stupid ass catch.
No, they did. They did.
Like,
Well, I think he had to review the catch at least to make sure it wasn't a trap. It wasn't a trap, though. That was
Well,
caught
thank you.
cleanly.
You up
I
and
mean,
relax.
close, but cleanly.
that ball glided into the glove.
Yeah. You can definitely tell, you can see Bellinger's uncomfortable in left field.
Lighter, come on, baby.
Let's go, Lighter.
Strike 3. Oh,
Ooh.
that was close. I called that as a pitch too close to take. Here comes your boy, Dan.
Lighter. It's all good. Just get to the next batter.
He's not getting the next batter.
I was about to say, here
Okay,
comes
we
your
got
boy.
Nimmo.
Nemo versus
Tim
the
Hill.
bullpen.
Oh, God, he's
Tim?
going to the pen. He's going to the pen.
That was not in at the ball. What? Stop complaining.
Got it.
Mark, final in Philly. The Phillies beat the Reds 3-1.
Fuck. Fucking Cincinnati.
3-2 Blue Jays over the Angels bottom league.
Explaining the bottom of the I did.
The what?
And then the 4 o'clock games are about to get started. And then for some reason, we got a doubleheader on Sunday Night Baseball. Cardinals, Cubs, and Rangers, Padres.
By the way, checking in with Sweep the League TV. They're watching.
Yeah, hi, Sweep the League.
Shout out Rudy and the gang over there.
Thanks for your support. We are about to have a Spurs built arena upgrades. We were talking about the arenas and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Entertainment all funded by taxpayers, which is interesting because Texas. Trade-offs should be lower concession prices, ticket prices for the duration of the loan on the construction, and I 1,000% agree with that. So, Rudy, we are 100% in agreement on that. And just quickly, yeah, it's expensive to build stadiums. You know,
Oh, it is.
like shit, man.
Shout out to great Rudy Campos. Sorry, I was helping the wife for a second.
All good.
These guys don't have to worry about dealing with that yet. They got a few years.
Tim Hill. out of the inning on one pitch.
Damn it.
6-4, end of 7.
Oh, Friday's Billy Joel bobblehead night at Yankee Stadium.
When is George Costanza bobblehead night?
August 21st. And the Yankees get out of the inning.
Let's go,
July
baby.
19th, baby. It's coming faster than I know what to do with. Does
What,
anybody
Dave?
know what happens on July 19th?
David Wright retirement.
Yes. I
David
know two
Wright's
things about
retirement.
July 19th.
The
Are you
last
going, Mark?
captain. I gave up my opportunity to go.
Listen, Mark, I am a diehard Yankee fan, but if I was not, because I'm gonna be away that weekend. If I was not away that weekend, if the tickets were reasonable, I would probably try to find a way to go because
I was
as big
fighting
as a
to get
Yankee
2
fan
tickets.
I am. I've always liked David Wright.
Yeah,
I was fighting to get 2 tickets for me and Michelle, but couldn't do it. So gonna watch the game at home. We are sending in a picture, Charlotte, Troy, and I, in front of the David Wright framed jersey that we have, saying goodbye and whatnot. And hopefully SMY, who is not a sponsor, will pick us as the contestant winners. So
Yeah.
you never know.
If it helps, I'm trying to leave a job there, so you know.
Wait, what's this? You coming home?
I never said that.
You're moving home?
I never said that.
I would like to, but
I had the hopes up there that Danny Boy was coming home.
no. Not,
We're waiting for that
not
day.
quite, not quite yet.
Dan's gonna win the lotto.
Shout out Dan for winning the lotto.
Yeah, share some with us.
He will.
Well, yeah. Well, first let me pay off my parents first, then let me pay off my loan.
Oh, absolutely. That comes first.
Then let me reinvest into the network.
I was about to say, I'm sure you have like $85 million in loans you have to pay off first before the money gets to the network, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Dan's like, I want $89 million. Shit. I'll just tell him I had $86 million in debt, $3 million to the network. No problem.
We'll go
All right, we've entered the realm of I don't know who Rico Garcia is.
I have no idea. Uncle Rico is now pitching.
Full beard, Uncle Rico.
Oh my God. He looks like a short bearded version of Luis Guillorme.
Shout out Luis Guillorme, Met legend.
Ugliest swing in baseball, but could defend.
Oh. You know who got the win for the Brewers today? Brandon Woodruff.
Good for him.
Hadn't
He's
pitched
back?
in 3 years. Or 2 years.
Jesus, I didn't even know he was back yet.
Yeah, he pitched today. Beat the Marlins.
How many innings did he go? What was his line?
Give me a second. DJ LeMahieu strikes out against Uncle Rico Garcia.
At 83 miles an hour.
See?
A slow curveball, and he looks.
Was the pit call?
It was dumb.
It was the pit.
It was outside.
But you know what? It was outside. Let me look at it. It was outside. I mean, look, it may have been a ball, but the framing was just perfect.
All right, Mark, you wanted the line. 6 innings, 2 hits, an earned run, no walks, 8 strikeouts, 70 pitches.
I guess he's recovered from Tommy John surgery.
Yeah.
Like, even if you foul it for LeMahieu, even if you foul that, like, dude,
You have to put a swing on it.
you got to do something. You can't just be looking, you know?
I mean, look, not that I could hit a curveball any better, but that was too close to take. But even though the pitch was outside,
Yeah. Come on, Wellesley.
Well,
Austin Wells 1 for 3 on the day.
And here comes the pitch. 2-0.
Foul ball. Nice 97 mile an hour fastball. Kid has a little bit of pop in him.
He took him inside.
Yeah, and Pop got popped earlier.
Yeah, he was pretty quick on that. Don't do it again.
That's foul ball.
Very.
Very close.
See, I say no matter what until the ball lands because need it to happen. See, if I say nope, that's going to be a fair ball, it would have landed fair.
Fair enough.
Here's something I've been thinking about,
Derek.
and I've been wanting to do this for a long time. I don't know if we ever had this conversation. I can't remember. I've had a lot of conversations with you. What if there was one baseball team in town? We every the let's say all the three original New Yorkers, they moved out of town. We get one baseball team. What's the name? What's the colors? Who's the owner? Where are they playing?
One team
One team. We're all in this.
out of the new team name, new
We're all-
location is what you're saying.
We're all in this together. You can pick anywhere. I'll tell you mine first.
Okay.
I'll be willing to give up the Yankees.
Whoa.
It means you guys have the Mets team name. We'll take the Mets. We'll give you the orange and blue colors, but you have to have the Yankee pinstripes, the Yankees interlocking NY. You can even have
A
your
lot to
stadium-
give in on.
you can even have your stadium in Queens because I'm from Queens. So
Okay. Now,
That
now you're leaning towards fairness. Now you're leaning towards a little bit of fairness.
Yankees interlocking NY, Yankee pinstripes, American League.
I wouldn't have a problem with the American League.
Okay.
I wouldn't have a problem with the American League. I wouldn't have a problem with the interlocking design now that I think about it. As if you look at both, you can make the case for either one that they're interlocking. So either way, the Yankees are truly the original interlocking symbol. So I can stick with that as New York.
Okay.
However, I keep it in the Bronx.
You keep it in Bronx. Okay.
I mean, I agree with you when you say Queens. I'm feeling more better about it. But if I'm going to be realistic and I'm a true New Yorker and a baseball fan, the Bronx is home to baseball.
Okay.
I'm putting him in Brooklyn.
Ebbets Field.
I'm going Ebbets Field. Yeah.
Okay.
You can have everything else you want. I would put him in Brooklyn.
Okay. Would you keep the Mets name?
I would keep the Met name. The Brooklyn Mets.
Considering the other team's name sounds like something a 13-year-old does at night.
Wow. Okay. That went dark.
Yeah, very fast too.
Yeah. And look, I love
However, we were all 13 at one point, so we know what that's like.
and look, I love the Yankees forever. But Mets are simple. New York Mets. They're simple.
Less letters, less money you have to pay to embroider the jerseys.
It's hipper, it's younger. Simple.
The colors, look, the colors, I agree with you. I do not like, I understand for the time it was that the black and gray, the black and white pinstripes made perfect sense. Understood. Nowadays, I do not like, this is not just with the Yankees, though. There are a few teams that go this hotel hallway room type wall painting jersey color. This bland motif, so to speak.
Yeah.
I look at the Padres with that taupe color is ugly. That tannish color. You need a little flair, you know, by the orange and blue works. The Marlins, the teal and the black work very well. I mean, the hell was that?
That's brutal.
But when you look at colors, the Yankees are boring. I hate to say it.
It is. It is. And part of the reason why I would take the Mets culture over the Yankee culture is that it's more hip, it's fun, you know?
It's today's venue, so to speak.
Yes.
Nothing against the new Yankee Stadium. It's a beautiful
Oh,
stadium.
yeah, sure.
Beautiful stadium.
It just doesn't have the
Yeah.
same
What
feel as
what
the
if,
old one.
what if we could let's say we have the stadium. Well, what if we have that facade around the
Look,
you
I
okay with
was
that?
against tearing down Yankee Stadium.
Okay.
Yankee Stadium should have been turned into
A
the new
museum.
Cooperstown. Should have been
Agreed.
turned into another Cooperstown.
Yeah, museum it up.
You know-
When they demolition that stadium out, a
Right.
small piece of baseball died inside of me.
I agree.
What you do is you have like you know what the Yankees could have done? They could have had an annual old Yankee Stadium game.
Yeah, you could have done one game a year there.
You know, it could have been opening day, it could have been, whatever you want. You have an annual game. I like the idea of having Yankee Stadium opening day, old Yankee Stadium opening day, and just one day a year, you have that one game and, start off the great baseball season.
You know, when you went to Yankee Stadium, and this goes for anybody, the old Yankee Stadium, not new. When you walked out that tunnel and you saw the green grass of Yankee Stadium, if you closed your eyes for 5 seconds, you could see the ghosts of Yankee Stadium playing from Mantle in center to Ruth pitching or in right or hitting those home runs, Maris, all of them. You can hear the history when you stepped in that stadium. Up until Bob Murphy's voice calling out the Yankees are full of rich baseball history, culture, but I don't disagree with Dan's comment that the Mets are more today. The Yankees are the pinnacle team of baseball.
Right. So Bill Murphy, you didn't get a chance to answer the question.
Sorry, I had to use the bathroom again.
It's all good.
You were best.
I asked them, we're all in this together. One team in town. What's the team name? What colors are you picking? Who's owning it? Where's the stadium?
Okay. Name of the team. How about
By the way, it doesn't have to be Yankees or Mets. It can be anything you want.
tell me if this sound okay, this may sound like a dumb name. How about New York cabbies, like cab drivers?
Shout out the cab drivers.
Fuck. Let me think of something else. Um, I would say, damn it, I wish I. God. Um, I can't think of a team name, but I would. I would want to keep the pinstripes, but keep the Mets NY.
Okay. So,
Okay.
okay. You want the Mets NY, keep the pinstripes. Interesting.
You know why? Because we pay tribute to all different. Because we pay tribute to all the different New York teams here.
And that's part of the reason why I have the Mets colors, but Yankee pinstripes and Yankee interlocking. Because then at least you get the Giants, you get the Dodgers, and you get the Yankees.
I would say have the team play in Manhattan.
So Polo Grounds type of situation?
Yes, because you know what? It's because Manhattan, as much as we love the Bronx and Queens, it's the pinnacle of the situation.
Fair enough.
It's the pinnacle of New York City. Name TBD to be determined,
Yeah.
but also, and Mike and Mark are gonna love me for this. How about Steve Cohen owns the team? Because you know what? He knows how to build a team right now.
Uncle Stevie is good people.
And
He knows how to spend money.
And rightfully so. All right. I do have to dip though. So,
okay,
Okay.
Mike.
gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. I will talk to you all during the week.
Sounds good,
Mike the Pun
gentlemen.
Master Rifkin will return next weekend for Sunday's Batters Up. Goodbye. And then we're down to 3.
Yeah.
You're outnumbered now, bro.
Another team named
Moving.
like the New York Titans.
Okay.
Okay.
Not exactly Mets or Yankees, but whatever, you know.
You're throwing your Jets there, aren't you?
No.
As we go
See,
into
the
the
Titans
night,
would be good. See, you already have the Liberty in the WNBA, so you don't need anything in reference to the statue itself.
The riders, in terms of like riding the subways, riding the buses.
Right. The New York subways does not sound like a fun team.
No. New York Riders, though.
Yeah, or the Bleacher Creatures, but that's the name of your right field team, followed by the Seven Nation Army and our right field team.
The Sevens.
The Cops.
The New York Sevens.
New York
The Dark
Fours.
Knights. The Dark Knights.
We like that.
Okay.
Take a little line from DC, not a sponsor. Actually, I kind of like the Dark Knights. Purple and black as the uniforms.
Paint it black.
Good song.
Good exercise, guys. I kind of like this.
Fun.
It
Give me a
is.
purple and black. Give me a purple and black uniform. That grimace purple with that New York Met black. Looks better than the Rockies gray and purple.
Yeah.
See, you can't go Batman, yellow and black. That doesn't. That's Bumblebee. We're not Transformers here. But give me a purple and black. I like it personally.
Cool.
That's me.
We enter the ninth inning. I see Mr. Met in the background.
Yeah,
I see him too.
Got it. You got the porn star up at the plate,
Yeah.
Ah,
Everybody's
and he gets a line draw. Well, more of a line round ball to Lindor. 1 out.
Grisham.
Trent
Grisham?
Grisham. I almost said Austin Wells.
Grisham's
I
had
think
a
Mr.
good
Met
day.
is hot.
Grisham's had a good day.
Yeah.
3 singles.
And look, is it run producing? Not necessarily, but it still ensures us that he's hitting the ball. So we need to keep him in the lineup because if we're in situations where we need runs, he's the guy that we can get base hits off, right? Upstairs.
Agreed.
Devin Williams. Uh-oh, here we go. Here comes the disaster. I'm spelling.
Look, I'm just trying to hold my breath as the guy at the plate
You're gonna
bats.
get psyched out.
Ugh.
What? The Mets are gonna win in the ninth inning. You watched.
You don't know that.
We don't know that, no, but we don't not know it. That was a double negative. 3-0 to Judge. Personally, if I'm Judge, I'm swinging there at that pitch.
Right down Broadway. And he doesn't do it.
I understand the Cardinal rules. You never swing 3-0.
Yeah, if it was like a 2-0, 2-1 situation. No. Oh no.
Wow. Look at those numbers.
Yeah,
Look
it's
at those
3-2.
postseason numbers. Judge, a 294 regular season hitter, a 205 postseason hitter.
Yeah,
Strike
sad.
3.
It is night and day once it hits October. Night and day. No. No!
And Judge goes down on strike. It's 2 outs.
Here's the difference, though. Judge isn't throwing a tantrum like a baby. It's a strike. I'm sorry. But he's not throwing a tantrum like a baby.
Well, that missed outside. That was in the zone. That curveball was in the zone.
Yeah. Right there. It's on the black. I understand from Judge's perspective, it was a little low, but it's a ninth inning.
The problem is that he's what, 6'7"? Like
Right.
upstairs. But you see, that was in the zone too. And they didn't call strike.
Here's Stanton.
1-1.
The $27 million problem.
It's okay. His contract's up in a couple years.
Pop goes the weasel.
Goes what?
Pop goes the weasel.
Dun, 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 dun.
Mets versus Devin Williams. Who's gonna get
Here we go.
Who's gonna get the game time
Right.
and game winning hits?
Sanger's not going to bat. I'd be very surprised they let Sanger bat here.
All right, we go to the bottom of the ninth.
Game time, game
Other
winning
than
hits.
that,
Who does it, Bark? Because you know it's gonna happen, right?
it's going to come down to the first hitter. It's going to come down to who they replace Sanger with. They have Torrens on the bench, so they have a catcher. That's not the problem. The question is who comes in to hit. Mauricio's in, Beatty's already hit. Marte's already playing. So who's available off the bench? Left.
I'm telling you. By the way,
Not much.
Zach Wheeler, for those of you following, do a complete game, and he was spectacular again.
Did he really?
Awesome.
Oh, Zach. Something you don't see in baseball much anymore.
Mhm.
It wasn't a shutout, but it was a complete game. Damn. Something you used to see on an almost every other day basis in major leagues over 20 years ago. Now you're lucky you see it in once in every 3 rotations. You're lucky to even have someone go more than 6.
More baseball news. Reese Hoskins is going on IL because of a thumb sprain.
Top of the thumb, yeah.
That's tough.
If the Mets are looking to do it here, the top of the lineup has to get it done.
Yeah.
They got to give this lineup a chance. They got to get someone to second early.
I think that's fair to say.
They have to look. Not that I ever like to rely on the home run as being the end all. The Mets have the players in the lineup that are coming up who can hit.
Look at those numbers are
1003 in the first 14 appearances. Unreal.
terrible.
And then 2 point whatever in the last 14.
Terrible.
What was that? That was terrible. I'm sorry.
His numbers, Devin Williams.
Here we go.
Who gets it? Is it Torrens? Torrens makes it a 1-run game right now.
No, not on the first pitch. Now, Torrens has to get. I told you they were pulling Sanger. So Torrens comes into bat.
Well, you know
He's the
Torrens.
last name. You need a
Torrens-
single.
Torrens is gonna wanna stick it to us. So you know.
He needs to get a base hit here or a walk.
Yeah.
That's what Mets need base runners right now. If you're at the 1-run game, then yeah, you can rely on just the home run. But it's not a home run game, it's a 2-run game, so you need a little bit more out there.
You want to know something? Miss Black just texted me, and she was saying that, your Yanks are going to win. Looks like the bet's a wash. I'm like, you guys are facing Devin Williams.
Ooh. This guy's been missing outside all game. This umpire.
That was a horrible pitch, but I'm not considering the Mets got a couple of calls. I can't really be that angry about
That
it.
was not even.
No, that's a ball. That should
That
be a
was
ball.
not framed well. This umpire
No.
stinks. This umpire's terrible today. Let's be real. Let's be real about that. All right, come on. This is my first full baseball game I've watched in like 2 months.
I was about to say I haven't watched the full 9 innings in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
was
sometimes.
ugly.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh,
That was an ugly pitch. That
oh
was low.
man! Oh, yo, yeah.
Gonna
And
get
here
thrown
comes
out.
Mendoza.
It's gone.
Here
Good.
comes
Go,
Mendoza.
No,
Mendoza.
that
Go.
was not that was too low.
Come
No.
out. Yeah.
Throw him out. Go.
Oh, but you know what?
Out of the 9.
He has every right to be pissed because
Absolutely.
he has been missing that. It's that outside corner the entire game. Yankees and Mets have gotten the bad end of those
Benefit.
calls. They've gotten the bad end of those calls.
Well, that's why I can't get overly angry because the Mets have gotten those calls as well.
But Mendoza, they've been missing all game with that
Yes.
outside corner pitch. He has every right to be pissed. And you know what? Booney, I'm surprised Booney hasn't been
Ejected yet?
well, I'm surprised Boone hasn't done anything yet because a couple of those Yankees, even Judge, that was not even close.
That was not close at all.
Yeah, that should have been a ball, Mark. I'm
Yes.
calling. That should have been a ball.
It should have been a ball, but
That
I
should have been.
explained my reason for not being angry, but that's what it is, though.
All right,
Let me guess, that's a strike?
Marte Parte
I would like so.
strike.
Well,
See,
Torrens can't get thrown here. They have no other catchers. So that's kind of why he can't get thrown.
another one.
That one at least was a ball.
Another one.
Even Mr. Met is not happy.
Oh,
Mr. Med is probably hot as hell right now.
upstairs. Come on, Devin. Come on, babe.
I wonder they have like a fan, like a little mini fan in that head right now.
Get into the batter's box. Is he okay?
Now what?
Check in on him. I don't think he's good.
Yeah.
Something's up. I don't have my volume on.
Looks like his foot.
His foot. Well, doesn't he need to finish the at bat?
Yes. If anything, this is delaying people from going home.
Jankowski is the last person on the bench.
What did it hit off the top of the toe? Oh. Maybe he has to go pee-pee. I have no idea what the hell the problem is. He's grabbing his quad. He's grabbing
Yeah.
his quad more than
Is
anything.
is he
Right above the
uh,
knee.
Is it his you know whatsies? Is his
It could be. It could be the boys. Could be the groin. Hot day.
all right. Come on, Devin. Don't lose him. Don't lose him. Swing and a miss. I think he's hurt.
He's grabbing that quad.
He's hurt. Strike him out.
Grabbing it, at least. He's not going to run if he gets anything.
I hate to do this, Mark, but you gotta strike him out. Like there's no reason.
You're going to leave it down to Lindor and Soto, which
And Val tip.
Marte can't even run.
No chance.
Bend that leg at all. That quad is gone.
Like he is he
Throw to first.
like literally as he's running out the box, like it was ginger. Like that was
Yeah,
even
you can
ginger. That wasn't even ginger. That was like I can't even describe it. It was so slow. You know, he's gonna
Yep.
get okay. One more
All
out.
right, Frankie. Let's go, Frankie.
Come on. No excuses. Get one more. Inside. Don't pitch inside.
Oh, that's out of here. Just kidding. I knew I'm a second ahead, so I figured I could have a little fun. You just saw Dan's face go from a smile to a frown in a half a second.
And here comes the pitch.
Yeah, he saw me missing that.
1-1. Counts 1-1.
Yeah.
2-1.
Yeah.
The second one, the third pitch wasn't even close.
Don't be scared.
Shit.
But you got to get him right here. Then you got Soto coming up.
Yeah, but you get Lindor, there's nobody on.
Come on, babe.
So tying the game on one swing can't happen.
Come
You
on.
got to get Lindor one right here.
Come on, babe. Did he get him? No.
No, he can't. He almost did, though.
3-2.
Yeah, almost hit him. Oh, God, that was closer than I even thought.
Fuck.
He was like
One more out.
Ooh.
And the Yankees take it.
Ooh. All right, so the Yankees close it out, win the third game of this Subway Series to end the season on a 3-3 tie. We'd like to thank you all for coming in and sitting and enjoying the comedy routine of the 4 of the 5 heads of the Sports Insanity Network. The other one was getting ready for a vacation, so we let him have the day off. Please feel free. Please tune in to us wherever you listen to all your platforms. Tune into us at the website at www.thesportsinsanitynetwork.com. Check us out on the Facebook, on
On the Facebook, on the X.
on X at SIN Real. Tune in tomorrow for the boys. They'll be doing Bombers banter. Next Sunday, we got the mid-season awards for Batters Up. And for Mark Oldup, Sky Halpern, Bill Corpus Christi Murphy, and the one and old Dan, Vice President Reginald, we wish you a great day. Have a good night, and we'll catch you on the flip side.
Stay safe and take care.